laying down on top of your wife.
Sometimes you don't want to get up. Sometimes you just want to be on bottom.
Yeah.
And you want to let her ride you.
Yeah.
And that's what Jared Goff was good at.
Now, they're 69ing.
Matt Stafford, it's every night's your anniversary when you're Matt Stafford. And she's like, honey, I'd just like to give you head. And he's like, how about I pile drive you?
Yeah, right. Exactly. On today's Pardon My Take, Week 12, we recap everything that happened Week 12, fastest 2 minutes, football guy of the week, who's back of the week. We also, I think we're going to talk a little bit of college football. We usually do that on Wednesday, but Michigan beats Ohio State once every decade.
And farewell to our good friend Coach O. Happy trails.
Yes, so we will touch on that in Lincoln Riley to USC. We'll touch on some college football. Incredible Saturday to end the regular season. But before we get to all of that, you know what you need when you're watching football? You need some Tostitos. Because if you're watching football with your friends, you need two things: a TV and some Tostitos. End of list. No get-together is official until some Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL, gets served. Maybe you're hosting the game. Maybe you need something to snack on while listening to us. Doesn't matter the occasion. If I was a betting man, which I am, I'd say odds are you have to have a bag of Tostitos and some salsa in your kitchen right this second. Plus, they got a flavor for everyone. Hint of lime for folks who love a bit of zest. Habanero if you're kicking things up a notch. Hint of guacamole to make your guacamole taste even guacier. And fans can get in the game with a custom recipe for their favorite team at Tostitos.com/recipes. My personal favorite is just traditional Tostitos and a little queso. Pop that in the microwave. You're ready to go. Tostitos is the official chip and dip of the NFL. If you don't have Tostitos on deck when you're watching football, you are watching football incorrectly. We love Tostitos. We love to snack. Tostitos, thank you very much for being a great sponsor. Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL, and also the official chip and dip of Pardon My Take. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Tostitos, the greatest chip and dip of all time, the official chip and dip of the NFL, and the official chip and dip of Pardon My Take. Today is Monday, November 29th, Week 12. What? We start in Cincinnati, where Joe Sir Mix-in-a-Lot said baby got Zach as the most unremarkable head coach used his running back to run all over the Steelers. T-shirt Higgins scored a touchdown and reminded everyone that the Barstool Sports store is still 20% off through Cyber Monday. Yes, 20% off through Cyber Monday. Pat, can you take me, Fryer? Muth had his arms wide open for a garbage time touchdown. And noted anti-porn watcher Ben Roethlisberger won't be watching film on Monday as Mike One Night in Paris Hilton took a pick to the house. Bengals 41, Steelers 10.
What? In Indy, where 1, 2, 3, 4 net. Come on, Jake, my man. Didn't know you like to get wet. Haha, come on, Jake. Rob Gronkowski was feeling horny. And Frank, ooh, I like it like that. I don't know how to act. Had his offense moving in slow motion for me in the second half. Aaron Burr, Roos Arians, took his best shot from Ashton Lin Manuel Miranda, but the Bucs survived the shootout. Bucs 38, Colts 31.
Hey, Teach, who are these two jokers that just walked in?
Huh?
In Miami, Jalen Gobble had a Thanksgiving feast, and the Dolphins turkey trotted for miles. Gaskin to squash the Panthers. It's all gravy when Xavier Howard is on the field, as the Dolphins defense put together 3 interceptions. PJ Walker, Texas Ranger, tried to kick some ass, but just fucked everything up as Tua Tagovailoa went yam on the haters, and the Dolphins are winners of 3 straight. Happy Thanksgiving, Tej. Miami 33, Carolina 10.
The Jets, Austin Walter White, and Tevin Better Call Saulman combined for a rushing attack to cover up for a baby-faced 20-year-old. Speaking of cooks, Brandon and Brevin Jordan combined for 2 scores for the Texans. As winter approaches, I want to remind everyone that we're in an energy crisis in America, and I, William Football support Joe Biden's attempt to go green. Jets 21, Texans 14.
I think we just got Wally pipped.
Did you was that you swearing, Boom?
Oh man. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program, to Duval, where in an ominous sign of things to come, the Jaguars mascot, Jackson DeVille, had a bungee Cordarrelle mishap as Patterson rushed for 2 touchdowns. Tavon me, Tavon me. Austin scored a touchdown as everyone said, aha, that's where he plays now, as Urban Meyer could be fired in a week or two. Falcons stopped their losing streak with a 21-14 win.
In Foxborough, where this is how Ramondre Stevenson was torching the Titans' Nickelbacks.
Nickelback? You know how they got their name, right, Boom?
Jacoby Urban Myers had very sticky fingers hauling in 5 catches. John Kerry Blasingame and Dontrell Hilliard-Lee Clinton had to try to hide from the Patriots as they were storming the Ryan Capitol Hill. Patriots 36, the Titans 13.
Some spread. Down to the Meadowlands where Chris Myrick Clapton had his first performance in front of a vaccinated audience. And there's bad blood between these two division rivals as Darnay Elizabeth Holmes forced one of the 4 Eagles turnovers. Nick Little Orphan Sirianni got beaten like a redheaded stepchild as the Daniel Jones went from Danny Dimes to Daddy Warbucks, and the Giants are back in the hunt. The G-Men 13, Eagles 7.
Up to the frozen tundra where Randall Cobb Lowe looks just as young as ever. Devontae Patch Adams said the best medicine for COVID-19 is Lafleur as the Packers clowned the Rams.
One of his patients killed him in the end, Boom.
Spoilers, Teach. The old saying goes, you can't put lipstick on a pig, just like you can't turn a Staff Ford into a Ferrari as the Lions quarterback struggled again. The Packers 36, the Rams 28.
Out in Frisco, where Placebo Samuel had some sweet runs holding on to the sugar pill. On the other side, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings are addicted to painful losses as their comeback fell short. On the plus side, Mike Zimmer remains hot, just like an oven, with his new girlfriend, because when I get that feeling, I want sexual feeling, as Adam scored twice in the defeat. Niners 34, Vikings 26. Standing on a corner, LSU down in Coachella, such a fine sight to see. It's Big Ed, my lord, he's falling on his sword, so LSU can win another natty. He was a great hire, they took a flyer, and he left us with one last Go Tigers! Shout out Coach O. All right, the fastest 2 minutes brought to you by our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage is much like us at Barstool, a people-first group of people. They're dedicated to the fundamentals of mortgage lending, which results in a fast, convenient, and less stressful home financing or refinancing experience. Rates are at an all-time low right now. They may never get this low again, so call today for a fast, free rate quote. Our partners will save you a lot of money. Call today, and our friends at Cross Country Mortgage will give you a free home valuation that is free to you just for calling. Just like the all-star athlete, Cross Country Mortgage pushes themselves through the entire lending process. If they get blocks, they figure out ways around to get the ball over the line. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinance your current mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Okay, week 12 in the books. Sunday night football. To quote, I don't know if Jake tweeted this for you, PFT, but that game was drunk.
Oh, I hammered that one in there. Yeah, the game was drunk. It actually, like, at the end of the first half, that was some of the shittiest football that we've seen in prime time. I think the NFL just, like, tells the teams, hey, don't worry about playing well. We got Mike Tirico on the call. It's not Al. Well, so you don't really have to bring your A game.
I don't want to blame the refs, but I will blame the refs. Jerome Boger's crew set the tone when that sequence of, like, the Ravens doing a fake punt, then they didn't let it because they said it went too fast. Then the Browns had 12 men on the team field, and they stopped that. Then a timeout. From that moment on, the game just, like, was full-on chaos. Lamar throwing picks. He threw 4 interceptions.
You forgot an additional 12 men on the field. The Browns did it twice in a row. I think one going into the timeout, one coming out of the timeout.
Yes. And then Lamar threw 4 picks. There was fumbles everywhere, but the Ravens won. They won ugly. I'm worried about the Browns, Baker being hurt, but also, like, the Ravens defense, like, the one thing you'd say, they give up explosive plays more than any other team, and it's not even close, but they were able to stop the run tonight, and they shut down Chunt, which was, I think that was the first time we had Chunt
in a while. Yeah.
And they shut him down, and now I don't know, the Browns are like in the muck with all these other AFC teams, and the Ravens have separated themselves. I think they're the 1 seed if we started the playoffs right now.
But Baker's hurt. We need to remind everybody. Baker's hurt. He won't tell you. The announcers won't tell you this. Baker's hurt.
But, yeah, weird game, crazy game. Lamar Jackson leads the league in no, yes plays where he had 2 of them on the same drive where he just ran. He basically runs Madden offense where he just runs. If they blitz Lamar Jackson, instead of like trying to evade the blitz or hitting someone with like a hot route or like hitting someone underneath, he just runs straight backwards and is like, I'll figure it out in 5 seconds.
He does the Michael Vick thing where you would always make him run backwards and then loop him around to the other side of the field, get him just pointed in the right direction, and then bomb it down the field across your body. It doesn't matter. I also think Lamar Jackson leads the league in yes, no.
Yes,
plays where he'll like get to the goal line, be stretching out for a touchdown, and then fumble the ball at the like 2-inch line.
Yes. But it worked with the Mark Andrews where he ran straight backwards and then threw it up in the middle of the field, and you're thinking to yourself, this is a terrible, terrible decision. And then Mark Andrews was just standing there all alone in the middle of the end zone. We started halfway through we started at halftime. We started taping the show, so our eye was half on it. Justin Tucker. I was thinking about this. If you had to, like, if Justin Tucker was in the draft tomorrow,
first round pick,
he has to be
first rounder.
And I know that sounds crazy.
Once you get to the end of like all the good quarterbacks, so after you get to maybe 13 or 14 quarterbacks, maybe you take some good defensive linemen, some like edge rushers at that point. But then you're like maybe a wide receiver or two, but then you got to think Justin Tucker.
Some stat nerd has to do like a deep dive on just the amount of points that the Ravens get in terms of edge-wise. The fact that the minute they get past the 50-yard line, it's like, all right, as long as we don't turn the ball over, it's an automatic 3 points. It's an automatic 3 points. It's crazy. He's so good. It's always right in the middle of the fucking field, like the post. It's insane.
You know what a team should do? They should set up the nastiest offensive line possible, have maybe 2 really good running backs, and then just run wildcat down the field and then kick field goals with Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
That way you could probably win a couple games in the NFL doing that without a quarterback.
Offensive and defense. Yeah, because if you don't pay a quarterback, you could pay everyone else a ton of money.
Yeah, you could get sick defensive tackles, a couple good edge rushers.
Run the triple option
on offense. Don't worry about scoring touchdowns every time. Just have Justin Tucker kick.
Yes. Even at the end of the game, what was his kick at the end? He kicked a 49-yarder, but it was crazy watching it because they're at 3rd and 11 on Cleveland's 34, and any other team you're saying to yourself, well, we need to get like a few more yards to make sure we kick this and can get those like extra points so that the Browns then have to score a touchdown going the other way. But the Ravens are like, yeah, we could get this first down or not because we'll be fine.
You know what we just described with that offense is basically the Ravens' offense, except they also have Lamar who's able to throw the ball downfield.
Yes.
Some of the short ones is where Lamar gets tripped up.
Yes.
When he's doing the touch passes or like on a screen, I don't trust Lamar to throw a screen at all, but I trust him to throw like a 40-yard bomb.
I wonder what Justin Tucker, like when he watches college football, is he just like, ugh, all these guys miss. I mean, Wisconsin punted from the opponents from Minnesota's 35.
I respect that. That's right on brand.
That's Justin Tucker like money range. He never misses that. They punted.
I think they should just let Justin Tucker kick inside 70 yards.
Yeah,
every time until he misses one.
It's crazy. So Ravens survive it. I want to see real quick. I'm sad for Browns fans because it feels like they have been so snake bitten. And Jack Conklin went out, and it looked like it was pretty bad.
They say he tore his patella tendon, which is my understanding the one that you don't want to tear the most.
See that even that sigh that was a genuine sigh.
Yeah, he tried to walk it off, and he did the stinky leg. Are the kids still doing the stinky leg? Jack Conklin is.
He's doing the stinky leg, but yeah, the Browns. Oh wait, the Browns have a bye still. Right? Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'm going to Google how long does it take a patella to heal.
Oh, yeah. Guess what, Browns fans? The good news is your next game is against the Ravens.
That's right.
Remember?
It's this weird
a bye
thing
week
in
and then
the
the Ravens.
Yeah.
That is so
Well,
stupid.
at least you match up well against them.
Yeah.
Like maybe you can muck this game up enough.
Yeah, so maybe you get some rest and then you go play the Ravens again. But yeah, the Ravens, it feels like they're one of and we'll get to all the other games, but they're one of like 2 or 3 teams in the AFC that you feel pretty confident like week in, week out. Even though they've had a couple, I don't know, the Dolphins though, again, we'll get to everything. Let's just do it. Let's get to everything. Okay, let's get to the rest of the Sunday slate. We'll start with the game of the day. It was actually not the Packers-Rams. It was the Bucs-Colts, which was an awesome, awesome game to watch. Back and forth. My pinky is officially, I feel a lot better about it after watching what happened in the second half.
The first half was tough. The first half was a red flag for your pinky.
The first half was Tom Brady looking old, Carson Wentz looking awesome. He had 3 touchdowns, 197 yards in the first half. And then the second half started, and it was like all of the powers were sucked out of the Colts. And it was fumble from Carson Wentz, interception, muffed kick. And the Colts are just the AFC Vikings at this point, where every single game you watch it and you're like, this team is good. They can beat anyone, but they will eventually find a way to fuck up at the worst possible time.
Well, are you talking about the Vikings or the Falcons?
No.
Because the Falcons are the NFC. The Vikings are the NFC Falcons, and the Colts are now the AFC Vikings. Which makes them.
No, I think still the Falcons are not good. Well, yeah, the Vikings. We're already going off the rails.
Yeah. Okay, let's bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring it back. We usually confuse
Yeah.
people towards the end of the
Okay,
show.
yeah.
Let's keep it on track.
Yeah, we
for the first.
Yeah, stick around for the next 30 minutes, and then we'll get real fucked up.
It is true. Like if you listen to this show every Monday, thank you, by the way. But it is very funny because I always notice like the first 3 or 4 games I take a lot of notes for, and then towards the end it's just like we're just gonna start talking about whatever. So let's stay on track here.
Right,
the Colts shoot themselves in the foot in very sad fashion in the second half. And the Bucs, like, I know it's very cliche, but if you make mistakes with Tom Brady, he will find, and it was more Leonard Fournette than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady to Gronk was incredible all day. But the Bucs showed why they're a team that's coming off a Super Bowl and a legit threat for another one, and the Colts are what the Colts are.
Well, in the first half, when the Colts were kicking their ass, the Colts actually lost the game when they were playing really well in that first half because they had at least one drop pick six against Tom Brady, maybe 2 of them.
There was like 3 or 4 interceptable passes.
And so if you don't make one of those plays against Tom Brady in the first half, that's worse than giving up a touchdown. Because like he'll give you maybe one chance a game to capitalize off him. And if you don't, it's like, okay, even though you're still winning, the game's over. It feels like it's already over because you weren't able to take advantage of it. Leonard Fournette is obviously had a great game. But the most important part, Rob Gronkowski being back.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Leonard Fournette covering the spread.
Well, he did cover the spread.
In a play that everyone always goes down now.
He could have gone down on
Fuck
that.
that.
Lenny was like,
my 4.
I'm getting 4.
Yeah.
And then, it was Gronk, though. It was Gronk being officially 100%. He looks like old Gronk, at least today he does. Even though Antonio Brown's out, I think this puts to rest the conversation of who's the most important player on that Bucs offense. I think it's Gronk.
Ooh, okay.
Because they can do this without AB.
Yeah, they still looked not great in that first half. Like they looked very. I mean, it was just clunky. It was clunky the entire first half. Cam, can you turn that off because you're ahead of everyone else?
Do we even know where AB? Like, is he actually injured, or is this like one of those? Because his designation on the injury report has been really weird.
So I saw someone, I think it was Schefter which we got to talk about Schefter later, but he had a follow-up tweet that was, might have been Rappaport, but essentially was like, when Antonio Brown got hurt, the doctor said 4 to 6 weeks. This is the 6th week. He should be back next week.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
update. Thank you.
Rappaport and Schefter are the same person.
Yes,
basically.
they are. Yeah. But anyway, so this game, so winnable for the Colts, and they completely like fucked it up in the second half. I also think that Gronk is back because I don't know if you saw post game, he did a video on the tarmac where I think he just now realized that the number 4 is in Leonard Fournette's name, and he scored 4 touchdowns. It really tickled Rob Gronkowski.
Once he learned that, yeah,
he was very happy. He was like, "No, you're Leonard 4, as in 4 touchdowns net." It was great.
Well, he was like experiencing the game like the rest of us were, who were on Twitter, who we were just refreshing, and everybody said Leonard Fournette. It just took Gronk. He's got like a built-in delay.
It was great,
like an FCC pause.
It was very, very fun. We need to talk about Vita Vea's tooth. Toughest guy in the world. I mean, his tooth went flying out, and like we watched the replay. And he just was smiling and pointing at it like, haha, my tooth's out.
Yeah, no, there are two types of people in this world. A person who gets their tooth knocked out and it's the end of their world. Like, your life is over. If one of your front teeth gets knocked out, if it happened to me right now, I'd march myself directly to a hospital and they'd be like, sir, you don't need to come here. Just come back when your mouth is healed.
I'll go one further. I don't even think you have to get your teeth knocked out. I think you just have to hit your teeth with like a beer bottle a little bit hard, and then you're like, all right, I'm going home for the night.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's happened to my teeth. I'm scared. Even if you don't have anything wrong, if you have that happen, you're just like, fuck it, I'm out. Yeah, I'm not doing this.
If you eat a popsicle too fast and your teeth hurt, then you freak out. It's a weird sensation. Don't even touch your teeth.
No, you bite something?
I think I was talking to Hank last week, and I was talking about chewing gum. I was asking if everybody had gum. I think Hank said, why don't you just chew on a piece of tinfoil? And I just stared at him. I guess Hank does that recreationally.
No,
Do you really?
This was a joke.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there like lightning always going off in your brain?
No.
Yeah, but so there's some people that get freaked out with tooth stuff. And then
everyone.
And then there are,
no, that's everyone.
Everyone.
That's everyone.
Then there are other people that get their teeth knocked out and they almost get happier that one of their teeth got
that's just
knocked
Vita
out.
Vea and
Vita
hockey
Vea
players.
and hockey players.
Don't knock until you try it, though. You never know.
Don't stop.
Don't even talk. I couldn't talk to him for like an hour after that because I was just thinking about chewing on tinfoil.
That's brutal.
But yeah, some people get more amped up when their tooth gets knocked out. They're like, finally, this is awesome. You're taking a car out into the highway and opening it up for the first time just to see what it can do. It's like, now I can really start living.
But he is the toughest guy. Like, that clip will just live on in my brain where he's just smiling, pointing at his tooth, like, look, see?
Like
Isn't
a kid,
this funny?
Like a kid that lost a
my tooth.
And then Bruce Arians had an all-time quote after the game, probably like 3 or 4 cocktails deep at the time. He said, I don't care that he lost his tooth. He's got 30 more of them. I don't know if Bruce Arians knows how many teeth you have in your mouth.
Depends on wisdom teeth, right?
I'm pretty sure it's an even number, though.
Is it?
Because your body's symmetrical.
It's 32?
32.
But but if he had his 4 wisdom teeth taken out, 28? That might be the case.
I still haven't had mine taken out.
So he might have 2 out. Oh, okay. You're saying maybe he had 1 out.
He just had one of them taken out. You think Bruce Arians knows like how many teeth?
That would be hilarious if he did. Also, Bruce Arians, like I know he's been wearing it like in his upper chest for a while now. The pack. He looks like a bird watcher. Like one of those guys just walking around on a guided tour, or a
suicide bomber,
But I was saying more, maybe not really dark about it, but like he's more the guy who's walking around giving a tour of a city, and he's got the little microphone that like a little speaker on his chest.
Yeah,
like all right, follow me here, and
or
it's
has
just
the binoculars in that strap too.
Yeah,
I always thought
suicide bomber.
I always thought it was just like one of those blood alcohol monitors where if it dipped below 0.08, he poured himself another gin and tonic.
That too. Yeah, he's got it
or like
all
an
in
ankle
that
monitoring system. I'm still not totally in on the Bucs because my eyeball test in the first half told me that the Bucs are not the Bucs that we saw last year.
Well, I think the Bucs are definitely in that category of like if they get healthy, which is I think they're the oldest roster in the NFL. They brought everyone back from a Super Bowl run, so saying if they get healthy, they'll probably get more injuries down the stretch. But they still, what did Jules say? Stop the run, run the football.
Stop the run, run the football. And there was one, cover
kicks. They can for sure stop the run. Their front 7 is fucking nasty. And I mean, Jonathan Taylor was like, that was partially the Colts stopped going to him, but he was a non-factor in the game. And they can definitely run the football with Leonard Fournette. So they got at least 2 out of 3. I gotta watch more on their special teams.
Yeah, I haven't observed them in that fast of the game yet, but their secondary is definitely still a question mark. Their secondary is if you're playing safety or cornerback for the Bucs, you're either 40, 21 or injured or both.
Yes. So other notes from this game real quick. The guy dressed as a goat. That was something.
Yeah, I didn't really get where he was going with the goat thing. Was that in support of Tom Brady?
I think so, but it also was like, I don't know, that just
But the colors of the goat, he looked like a Colts fan wearing a goat uniform.
And he was a full adult. Full, like gone through puberty, everything. Done it all. Can rent a car, everything.
Yeah.
And he was maybe even like in his 40s and 50s, and he's just like, I'm going as the GOAT today.
Yeah, why not? I actually think that if you're above the age of 30 and you're going to be wearing a costume like that, you got to go full mask. You can't have the face showing because then you got a lot of pictures
People
out
at
there
work are gonna
that
be
you'll
like,
have to explain later. You got to go full like super fan with it.
Bob, what were you doing
on
Sunday?
You got to be so committed to the whatever uniform or outfit that you're wearing that you adopt like a new personality when you put it on.
You're GOAT man.
Yeah, I'm the GOAT man, the super fan of the Colts.
People are going to be mad that we rag on Carson Wentz, who has been playing well, but that was Carson Wentz. Like that second half, and not everything was his fault. I made a joke that at the end I'm going to count that Hail Mary against him, but that like Carson Wentz will have moments and games and second halves like that where you're like, what the fuck's going on? And like, I guess it was a credit to the Bucs secondary because the Carson Wentz underthrow everyone play actually works most of the time.
Yep.
This time it got picked off, which was a big interception. A last note was the last guy on the Bucs to score 4 touchdowns was Doug Martin, which I just want to remind everyone, Muscle Hamster.
Muscle Hamster, that's still
Best
his name.
nickname ever.
Even though he tells you that's not his nickname anymore, we're staying with the Muscle Hamster. That I just remembered the Colts did have a muff punt that the Bucs recovered.
Yeah, no, that was
yeah.
it went Carson Wentz fumble, interception, then muff kick, all in the second
so
half.
the Bucs are playing well on special teams.
Yes.
According to that play.
Yeah, it was tough because the Colts are like I'll say it. I'm legitimately a little bit afraid of my pinky because I think the Colts they are a decent team. I'm going to put them in my decent category, and if they get a little bit better, like they have all the pieces that make a scary playoff team. But I just keep going back to like Carson Wentz is going to do something. Like Carson, I'm scared because the Colts are better than I thought, but I also know in deep down, and I think Colts fans probably know this deep down, like trust tree, you're asking Carson Wentz to win 4 playoff games. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right, but if you look at Frank Reich, I think he's the perfect coach for the state of Indiana because I think he's really good at taking like no-name guys or guys that are average at best. Carson Wentz going this year, he was still, even though they're paying an exorbitant amount of draft picks for him or like a high value for him, he's not like a superstar anymore. But and they don't really have that many superstars outside of, I don't know, like Jonathan Taylor seems like he's going to be great, but he's still a rookie. Or I mean, he's still like a young guy in the league that hasn't, like really gone out there and proven himself on an extended period of time. But Frank Reich is the perfect guy to coach like an average group and make them very good.
Yes.
I don't think he can take a very, very, very good, talented team and make them, into a dynasty. I don't think that's what you're getting, but that's not Indiana for you.
Yeah, and they are the AFC playoff picture, which we'll get into more of this, but like it is the 7th seed just muddles everything because there are like 6 teams that you throw in that pile that are either 6-5 or 6-6 like the Colts are, or 5-5 or 5-7 that are all like, I could see it. Like I could see them going on a run. I'd actually say the Colts are probably the best of that group. So, but again, like one of those losses that you walk away from, you're like, how did that happen? We should have won that game. Similar to some of the other Colts. I mean, think about their last 3 losses. They lose the Monday night game against the Ravens in overtime, which was like they should have won that game. They lost the Titans game in overtime. The Carson Wentz, remember, Galaxy Brain threw the pick 6 instead of taking a safety. And then this game. Those 3 games are against 3 playoff teams that the Colts absolutely could have won, and just 1 or 2 things goes wrong for them that if they clean up, they look like a totally different team.
I also think that the Colts they're an outdoor team that happens to play indoors most of the time.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay needs to just open up that fucking roof, make it as cold as possible in there. They just seem to have the identity of one of those real cold weather teams that can out-tough you.
Yes, I'd agree with that. I'd absolutely agree with that. All right, next game. Patriots Titans. Where do we want to start? I mean, the Patriots are rolling, absolutely rolling. It did feel like the Titans, the Patriots are rolling, but the Titans also are injured, and they gave this game away with a ton of turnovers. But the Patriots are rolling. Like the Patriots are better than the Titans.
I think the game was over, and I bet on the Titans, and I knew it was on the wrong side when Belichick came out rocking the plain white tee.
Yeah. So the plain white tee. Look,
unzipped jacket,
jacket, plain white tee. I do think that he's using the wrong fabric. As someone who's been in this spot many times before, there's you reach a certain weight where you're you're not an athletic fit guy. Like he was wearing
But he
like
looked
an Under
fit because
Armour
of the shirt.
Yeah, he was wearing like an Under Armour spandex shirt. And I said this on the stream, but I remember like vividly, like probably 3 or 4 years ago when I had way too much Under Armour in my closet, and I would put it on, and it was like basically filling a sausage in the casing, and your body's just like lumps and everything. He needs more fabric. It was too tight on him.
It gives off major vibes of like a Major League Baseball manager putting on a uniform and not putting the coat on over top of it, and you just realize how lumpy they get in their older age. Belichick, I admire the confidence to pull it off. To me, it looked more like the whole fit going together was like when you're too hungover to go outside for anything, but you just need to like go across the street and get a breakfast sandwich from the supermarket and then walk back. You just put on whatever clothes are closest to you, where you walk outside, technically don't have any nipples showing, and then get back.
He definitely had. I think we've said this before, but the less Belichick cares about his dress, the better the Patriots
More
are.
dangerous
Like
they
the more confident he is, and he's clearly very confident in the Patriots because they're rolling right now. I also think this might lend some credence to our theory that Ernie Adams was the one dressing Bill Belichick because he's no longer there. Like have we ever seen Belichick rock this fit before? I can't remember him rocking
his first timer.
the spandex white shirt. So maybe he's a little lost without Ernie.
I think we're kind of right when it comes to that theory, but it's more so that he's spent so much time game planning for this game that he literally doesn't have the time to go to a closet and look in the mirror.
Well, I think it's similar to, remember when Dwight got fired in the office and all the plants died? Like Ernie Adams retired and all Bill Belichick's fits are gone.
Yeah,
like
but
he doesn't know what to do.
You're acting like he wore normal outfits.
No, I know.
That's what Ernie Adams' job was, to go into the closet and cut the sleeves at varying lengths.
And make sure he has a lot of fabric. Today he did not have a lot of fabric.
I thought
it
he
was
looked
skin
great.
tight.
Well, he looked great after the game started. He looked great.
He always looks
Hank, you're
great.
right. He looked
because
awesome
you know what?
today.
He's like the perfect case of if you wear something with confidence or you don't really give a fuck, you look good.
I kind of
like
thought,
you look cool.
I think he looks better the worse he looks.
Yes, absolutely.
Without a doubt. Now, so yes, there were some issues that the Titans had, obviously, like on the field with the players that they had today, but also they're down to like nobody playing wide receiver.
Yeah, they're down
to
no one.
Here's a fun little stat: Vrabel himself has more touchdown passes caught, and he was a linebacker, than all 4 of the wideouts combined entering today's game.
That's ridiculous.
Pretty crazy.
That's crazy. They also had their first 100-yard rusher, not named Derrick Henry, since 2017. Last one was DeMarco Murray, who I always think is really good or was really good because of Oklahoma.
He was awesome on the Cowboys.
And he was awesome at Oklahoma. But they ran
the ball well.
They did run the ball well. So that, I guess that would be the only thing you could pick apart on the Patriots, because the Patriots they're at that point now in the season where you have to nitpick to find something that they're doing incorrectly, because they are absolutely rolling and steamrolling teams. Like the Titans are a good team and the Patriots whooped them.
So here's another fun little stat. Hank, I'd like to hear your comment on this because I know you're a big believer in turnover luck. What about field goal against luck? Because the Patriots right now, if you think like everyone's missing field goals against the Patriots, Fat Randy hit the pipe twice on them.
He did.
Tannehill
threw an interception on the one.
Yep, and then they're chasing those points for the rest of the game.
Yep.
The Patriots right now, teams kicking field goals against them have only made 60% of their field goals, which is about 10% better than any other team in the NFL right now.
Oh, wow.
So they're like far and away the best team at defending field goals. Not like blocks, but just
defending
them in spirit.
Yes.
So, Hank, I'd like to hear, I think it's like the highest percentage, at least in the last 10 years that I looked up. Again, I don't know how to use Excel, so I probably fucked that one up. But it's still like a remarkably good field goal against percentage.
Yeah, it's probably the little things. It's probably something they go over in practice. You know, the guys on the edge know what to do. Get the kickers a little thrown off.
Yeah.
It'll probably come back to bite us in the ass in the playoffs. Who knows?
I mean, I don't really know what you could. I mean, you said it. I heard you whisper in the back row today, like playing for home field. You guys are playing for that number one bye now officially. That Bills game next Monday night, which just as a sidebar, we've had our differences with ESPN in the past. Guy who's no longer there. But Jimmy Pitaro needs a shout-out for basically sitting on Roger Goodell's lap and making sure we have good Monday Night Football games in December.
Well,
because, like, this is – like, what let's just look real quick at next week's schedule. So next week is Bills Patriots. If you don't know, the NFL basically punished ESPN every year by giving them the worst Monday Night Football games. Jimmy Pitaro took over, has like, you know, they've gotten their relationship mended, and now we get good Monday Night Football games.
I think Schefter actually had a lot to do with that.
That's
Schefter
true.
just referring to everybody in the league as Mr. Editor.
But we were the ones who were losing because the viewers. If John Skipper was still at ESPN, I'm gonna just look right now. It would have been Colts Texans. It would have been Colts Texans Monday Night Football next week.
We get Bills.
We've
got some awesome games.
Yes, so I'm excited for that game. That game is going to be enormous.
I wish I like had a video camera, like was vlogging myself when we went to Buffalo in the summer for Grit Week, and the confidence and the way Bills fans were talking, and they were just acting like the Bills were a shoo-in to win the East and the Patriots are going to be terrible, and they're like, oh, like every single person was like, oh, we're going to fuck you guys up in December.
Would you expect them to say like, you guys own us still?
I just would like to talk to those people now. I would just like to talk to those people now.
I haven't.
It was an irrational. You guys can admit they were irrationally confident.
Yeah, they were.
It wasn't just confidence. It was like
Buffalo's a city of hope.
We're already better than you. There's no chance you guys are even going to be close. And now we're going to be ahead of them in the division with chance for home field.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but like the idea that like Mac Jones, if he won a Super Bowl as a rookie, and we have to be like, wait, they're going to do this again for the next 20 years?
If Mac Jones wins a Super Bowl as a rookie, I think we can officially declare that the Patriots won the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick divorce.
Oh, my God. It would
like getting a Super Bowl.
Mac Jones is playing incredible.
In a non-COVID year?
Oh,
be incredible.
Ryan Tannehill, by the way, he had 93 yards passing.
Yep.
Wasn't throwing to anyone.
Yep. Right.
Actually, the best throw, if we want to go greeny on it, the best throw of the day was Mike Vrabel's challenge flag.
It was a sweet throw, right in front of the ref, threw it with malicious intent.
Yep.
I love a good angry challenge throw because if you're a referee and you get the mad throw, you know you fucked up. You don't even have to look at if a coach is mad enough, you can just simply declare, okay, you win this challenge. I screwed it up. My hand's up.
Right. And Mike Vrabel, I think, who's like the best? He's got to be the best angry challenge thrower. I'm thinking like Pete Carroll is maybe up there. Pete Carroll's got a good challenge throw when he gets really upset. Belichick and Andy Reid are two guys. They're old heads, but they do the like toss, like the disgusted, like ugh.
Belichick will just take the flag out and drop it into free fall. He doesn't see the need to expend any energy tossing it.
Why would you do this? Tomlin, I feel like, has a good challenge throw. He does a little crow hop.
Yeah, he's crow hop. He's smacking his gum a little bit when he does it. I always enjoy that.
And Vic
Fangio has a grumpy toss.
Yes,
but it's also kind of sad because he's not going to win the challenge.
Yes, I would like.
Lovie
to see,
Smith had a good challenge throw too, just from practice.
If I were an NFL coach, I'd have a T-shirt cannon, and I would just do it from that.
I like that.
I'd fucking shoot it right at the ref.
I like that. Sean Payton has a good.
Get me my bazooka.
Sean Payton's got a great angry challenge throw.
Yeah, he
because
does.
Every penalty, everything that he needs to challenge, is a personal affront to the Saints organization.
Yes, it is. It's very true. Imagine if there's someone who's on the sideline though, like Rambo with a bazooka, a T-shirt cannon around their chest the whole game, Bruce Arians style.
It'd be
just
sick.
Fucking whip it around.
It'd be sick. I don't think there's anything in the rule book against doing that.
No. All right. So the Patriots are really, really good. The Titans are very, very injured. I think the Titans have big time. I mean, I guess they found something a little bit with the running game. Turns out Adrian Peterson wasn't the answer. Who knew?
Bring in Frank Gore.
Yeah, who knew?
Do it, Vrabes.
Yeah, bring in Frank Gore. But yeah, the Patriots are rolling, and Monday Night Football in Buffalo is going to be an absolute scene.
I'm pretty pumped. You want to do who's the spread anyway?
Who's the spread anyway?
I'm gonna say Patriots by 1.
Oh, I'm gonna say Bills 2.5. Bills 2.5. PFT's got Patriots 1.
Bills -3.5.
Oh. Wow, that's a computer play for you, PFT.
That is. I mean, according to the deep numbers on that one. Vegas is fucked up.
You have to hammer it.
That tells me Vegas is flying blind on this one. They don't know what to do.
That one will come back to 3.
Yeah.
If I know the market.
Wait, it's in Buffalo. I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I was almost dead on.
Wait.
The 3 points matter.
So you thought it was okay.
Bill, I was going to say Bills too. If
I was
it was
surprised that you were that high.
Yeah.
on the
No,
Patriots.
I forgot because Hank was talking about going to the game. I was like, surely. Oh wait, that's right.
Yeah.
It's in Buffalo.
All right. Next game. Giants Eagles. Just an all-time Giants win when Dave Gettleman is like sort of Dave Gettleman and Matt Nagy are the two guys that are fired but not fired.
I think Gettleman may have leaked that news himself, expecting that Giants fans would go out there and be like, no, don't fire Gettleman.
No, and everyone's like,
he's
please,
changed the
yes.
franchise around, and then completely underestimated that reaction.
Yeah. I don't know what the Giants will do. I was listening, friend of the program, Nick Costas, who's a big Giants fan, was like, I think what the Giants are going to end up doing is just giving the keys to Joe Judge totally.
Yeah, well,
which is scary.
If that happens, so he's going to be GM?
Everything.
Yeah. That would be very scary. That's the only way that he really can plan for the future.
Yeah.
If you're Joe Judge, because if you get another general manager in there, even if they accept to work with you, and they'll probably get input from Joe Judge as to who the next GM is going to be. It's going to be like, Joe Judge, who do you want to fire you in a year?
Yeah, right, so exactly.
That's not a good formula. But if they gave complete control to Joe Judge on everything, I would love it just for the comedic aspect of it.
But this was such a Giants win because backs against the wall, looked terrible against the Bucs. Joe Judge or Gettleman's getting fired, supposedly. Everyone's down on them, and then they win a game ugly with defense, and you're back to being like, are the Giants sort of good sometimes?
If the Giants can make you play Giants football against them, the Giants will beat you with experience at that game.
It's crazy.
They will ugg a game up so hard.
Yeah. Oh,
they will make it nasty.
Ugg.
Sometimes Daniel Jones will ugg up a play just to demonstrate, hey, here's how we're playing football up here, and hope the other team copies them.
Yeah, it's basically like you agreed upon rules before the game. Daniel Jones is like, watch this. We're gonna be UGG today.
Yeah,
you gotta be UGG in kind.
No, you're right, because sometimes when they play against a team like the Buccaneers, you're like, hey, wait a second, the Bucs. That's not sporting what the Bucs are doing right now to the Giants.
Right.
They're playing a different sport out there.
Right. It's not fair. It's not fair. But yeah, the Giants defense is playing well. The Eagles, I feel like I haven't figured out, but actually, no, I haven't figured out. They can run the ball on anyone, and then when Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball, it's a mess.
They stink in the red area is what they do. They're terrible once they get down there. And, I mean, to Jalen Hurts' credit, he threw 2 touchdown passes on that last drive. Neither one was caught.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he put it there.
Well, you bring that up, and I know Eagles fans feel this in their bones every single day. Probably when they wake up, this is the first thought in their head. But we always talk about drafts and draft regret. And, I went through it with the Mitch and the Mahomes and all that stuff. Jalen Reagor was drafted the pick before Justin Jefferson. And I know that Eagles fans, every day they wake up, and that's what they're thinking in their head.
Well, it's also a little bit different when it's not a quarterback, because you can be like, this quarterback would have turned everything around. But when the draft pick turns out as bad as Reagor has, then you immediately do jump to that.
And it's wide receiver, and it's literally the pick before. Did they trade up? They might have Rager. They might have traded up for it too. I got to check that. That would be really bad.
Yeah, it sucks.
I don't think they did.
It sucks that Jefferson is so good for them. You would just like him to be an average receiver.
Justin Jefferson. Imagine Justin Jefferson and Devontae Smith together. That would be, you'd basically have your receiver core set for the next 10 years.
If I'm the Eagles, here's my game plan for Nick Sirianni. Just run the ball. Use your 3 running backs and Jalen Hurts to just run the ball, and then occasionally throw the ball to Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. And that's it, really.
Yeah.
Maybe Dallas Goedert. I don't think Dallas Goedert had a catch today.
No.
That's crazy.
Well, Jalen Hurts is the new – I mean, he does a lot more, obviously, with his feet, but he definitely is the Josh Rosen stat guy because he was 14 for 31, 129 yards, 3 interceptions.
Not good.
14 for 31. That's tough. It's
good.
tough to be in the NFL and throw like that. What are you going to say, Jake?
So they were contemplating trading up for
That's
CeeDee
right.
Lamb.
That's right.
And then they decided to take Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
That's right.
That's adding insult to injury.
That's right.
Probably should have traded up for CD.
That's pretty tough. So they basically had 3 doors, and they picked the only door that a fucking monster came out and ate their head off.
God, I would have loved to hear Eagles fans screaming in the Philadelphia accent about CeeDee Lamb calling into the radio.
Jefferson
that would
went
sweet.
the pick right after.
Yeah, no, the pick right after.
Yeah.
And again, I'm saying this, and Eagles fans are saying, dude, why? They're listening to this right now. They're like, what do you think we were thinking when we were eating our cereal this morning?
Yeah.
This exact thought. So it's nothing new here. Also, the Giants, I'm on to you. You guys are just doing a name retirement every single week now.
It was a Strahan game.
Yeah, you guys are doing. I'm on to your shit.
You knew that the defense was going to show up on Strahan night.
They're doing it every fucking game. It's a smart way to sell tickets. Jake pointed out that it does feel like this is the year of like celebration and retiring numbers, probably because COVID, we didn't get to do it last year. But I feel like the Giants, every game, they have something. They're doing the throwbacks. They're doing something.
And again, they wore those awesome uniforms today, which look amazing. Especially if you're not a fan of the Giants and you see them wearing those uniforms, you're rooting for the Giants that day.
Yes.
But then Giants fans are like, wait, we always suck in these uniforms.
Yes. But again, when we had this discussion, the Giants have, I think, lost the most games in the NFL in the last 5 years.
They're doing a good job of hiding that, though.
Yeah.
Probably by just bringing back all their old players.
Yeah, no,
Next week is like Madison Hedgecock Remembrance Day.
It's actually like a great reminder that if you can just be great a couple times and win 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years, people will kind of just forget that you suck really bad for a while.
This was huge for the Giants too, because this fully cemented them as being in the hunt graphic.
Yes.
This win made it look legit that you're included in that graphic, whereas technically you would be still included.
Everyone
in the hunt,
except the Lions.
No, the Lions aren't eliminated yet, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the Lions, this is your last week before elimination, potentially, so savor it while you can, Lions fans.
No big deal.
No big
Bears
deal.
beat him up.
Yep.
Dan Campbell, oh my God.
The 2
Dan
timeouts.
Campbell, you should be lucky that we're not doing recap of Thanksgiving Day games because I felt bad for him, but now it's like your own doing.
So Dan Campbell, I would not call him a loser because he's not a loser, but he did have a loser excuse for the double timeouts. His excuse was, we called the second timeout because we saw that we were going to get toasted in the flat for a touchdown if we didn't call it. So it's actually good, even though I didn't know the rule. It's a good outcome that we called the timeout, took the 10-yard penalty as opposed to giving up a touchdown right there.
And Matt Nagy was calling timeouts at random places. It was essentially like a slap fight where someone was like, "Hey, someone should break this up."
No,
they were like, "Nah, they're not going to hurt each other."
It was like watching 2 birds trying to do math.
Yeah, like nothing's going to happen here.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the next game, quick word from our friend at Coors Light.
I love Coors Light. The mountains were blue this weekend. I don't know about you guys, but the mountains, they're usually blue for me on weekends. Thanksgiving was specifically blue. It's time to keep your beers outside. The mountains turn blue when they're outside right now if you're lucky enough to live in a cold weather city. I love Coors Light. Drink it all the time. It's our favorite beer here at Part of My Take. It's holiday season. It's Coors Light season. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. I love their new commercials, by the way. We had the weird-looking snowman that starts rocking out in the front lawn playing some Boston.
Yep.
It's a great commercial. When you need to hit reset, just crack open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. It's made to chill. With Coors Light, the mountains and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you can always know when it's time to chill. I love cracking open an ice-cold Coors Light. Nothing better than a Friday Coors Light. At the end of the day, you get home from work, officially tell your body, guess what? It's time for the weekend. Time to chill. When you need to chill out this holiday season, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Go to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Okay, next up, Jake's Dolphins, who are now very much in the hunt.
I think the Dolphins have been upgraded from bad team to good.
Yeah, so good sometimes.
No, good. It's good question mark.
Well, actually, good right now.
Yeah,
they are good right now because they are on a 4-game winning streak. They've given up a total of 46 points in that 4-game winning streak. I became a Tua believer 3 or 4 weeks ago. Perfect timing because he's playing well. Like, he's not, Tua's not.
They've gotten to you so hard.
No, they have.
Dude,
did you see that video?
Yeah,
of the
it's
Dolphin
great.
dude?
It's great. It's great.
Scary.
Yeah,
Tua are scary people. I do not want to piss him off.
Tua's not bad.
No, he's not.
But he always seems to have the ball on the ground during plays when the ball's not supposed to be on the ground.
Yeah.
But he usually picks it up and throws an incomplete pass after he picks it up. But if I'm watching a Dolphins game, the ball is 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage right next to Tua's feet like 5 times a game.
Yes, and he's doing a very good job of I don't want to call him a game manager because that would be mean, but there are game manager he's not. It's not like he's bombing the ball down the field. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
Assistant to the game manager.
Yeah, but he's very efficient and he's playing good football and he's part of the reason why they keep winning these games. So I'm not a Tua hater anymore. I'm actually a believer. I want him to do well.
I've been waiting for a new awesome touchdown celebration this year, and
Yeah.
I wasn't going to stand for Adam Thielen trying to do the gritty or whatever he's trying to do. The Waddle celebration is awesome.
It was,
when Waddle
yes.
scores and he does the Waddle walk, and then his offensive line start waddling with him.
Yep.
That's the new best touchdown celebration this year.
And it was Jalen Waddle's breakout game, 137 yards and a touchdown. He also got, a guy is having a breakout performance or also like is something special when they do the speedometer on him. So fourth fastest guy or third fastest guy.
Daniel Jones,
clocked
number one.
in the NFL this year. No, it was Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the Packers. And then number 2 and number 3 kind of shocked me, Jonathan Taylor. Number 2 and number 3.
All right.
And then Jalen Waddle was 4 he checked in at 21.8 miles per hour.
That seems like it's fast.
It's pretty fast.
I have no
Feels
frame
very
of reference.
fast.
It seems like that person could probably chase me down.
Yes, that feels very, very fast.
It
Was his breakout game.
He did get caught from behind today, though, one time.
Oh.
He had a wide open field in front of him. One of the cornerbacks on the Panthers chased him down from like 4 yards behind. That was pretty cool to watch. But yeah, he looks good. He looks like he's as advertised. I'm gonna put the as advertised.
Yeah, and
label
then
on Waddle.
Jake has told us, and he's right. The Dolphins have the Giants, the Jets, and at the Saints in their next 3 games. They're 5-7 right now. That's
I said after Thursday night they were 2-7, and then their schedule.
That's very they could absolutely finish the season, and they play at the Titans and versus the Patriots.
At Patriots could be second stringers.
Could be. So yeah, they could absolutely finish 9-8, 10-7.
I believe Jake said 500 by Christmas.
Yeah,
maybe not 10-7. They'd have to run the
they
team.
They don't have their pick, so who cares if there's no such thing as ruining their draft pick right now.
Yeah, Brian Flores is back to being coach of the year.
Yeah,
just like
he's
that.
always in the conversation for it. He always finds himself in and around that talk.
He's a quintessential. You know who's doing a great job? Brian Flores down in Miami.
Well, it's also there's like built-in. It's like if you have a bad team with no expectations and you outperform those expectations, then you're in the running for coach of the year. Brian Flores is always around that every year, but if you're really a great coach, shouldn't people have expectations for you?
Yes.
Going into the next year?
Yes.
Whatever it is, Brian Flores has tricked us into thinking that the Dolphins are always going to suck, and then we always get surprised when they're good.
They're building something. They're the dark horse
They're
team
always
every
building
single
something.
year. Yeah.
Like Carmela Soprano.
Oh,
Yeah. Remember that, Hank? When she had that spec house that she was building?
it was a passion project.
Finally sold it. Her dad used the wrong wood.
We should talk about Cam Newton. So that was nice when we thought that maybe he was back, even though we had an entire year plus of Cam Newton to watch and be like, this guy isn't really a quarterback anymore.
But he was kind of back for that 1 week.
It was like a week and a half because he had the touchdown against the Cardinals. He had 2 touchdowns against the Cardinals, running and passing.
And then he said he was back.
Then he was back. Then he had the touchdown early against the Washington football team. We did the whole thing. It felt cool. And then today, so Tua had 4 incompletions. Cam Newton had 5 completions.
Yes.
He was 5 for 21 for 92 yards and 2 picks.
5 for 21?
5 for 21.
It's not ever a good thing when your stat line sounds like it's a medium decent special night for a bucket of beers at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, 5 for 21.
Yeah.
5 for 21. Come on down. That's industry night.
Yeah, no, that's how I judge quarterback performances. I relate it to like a case of beer. 20 for 24, that's a great night.
Yes. 5 for 21. You have to go back all the way till 2004 to find someone who had a worse completion percentage with over 20 passes. Can you guess that person? It's a guy who I still think, if you told me he was coming back tomorrow,
Tuiasosopo.
no, I would say this guy's going to be good. Because
Give me a hint.
Video game cover.
I was sure it was Tuiasosopo. Michael Vick.
Nope. Joey Harrington.
Oh, shit.
Joey Harrington, 5 for 22, week 13 against the Packers in 2004 for 47 yards.
He was awesome at Oregon.
He was awesome.
I don't know if this is like a Pete Carroll twin thing that I've just made up in my mind, but wasn't there a magazine cover that had Joey Harrington on it, like modeling jeans? Wasn't he a jeans model for a little bit?
Something like that. He was.
I Googled it about a year ago. I can't find shit on the internet for Joey Harrington wearing cool jeans.
Yeah, and it's Joey Harrington. It might be a Berenstein Bears thing.
It might be.
Yeah, where we're just like, okay, he was Are you thinking Brady Quinn maybe? With that?
No.
Brady Quinn definitely
Brady
did some
Quinn,
sexy photo
Yeah,
shoots.
but he's not a jeans guy. He's like a GQ tux guy with bow tie undone.
Yep.
That's Brady Quinn.
Joey Harrington, though, I think for people who are younger than I would say, I don't know, maybe younger than 25, who don't understand that like Oregon became cool like with Joey Harrington in that whole era before the Chip Kelly Oregon teams.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was so different and like holy shit, like this guy just passes all over the place. Like he's incredible. Oregon's awesome.
He got to the NFL, he got lionsed.
He got lionsed. And Joey Harrington, if you told me he was making a comeback, I'd be like, he's perpetually like 29 years old in my head, and he could absolutely light it up if he was playing in the Pac-12, probably not in the NFL. I'm pretty sure there's a Bears game where we picked him off like 5 times.
I also think that Mike Williams, the guy that went to the Lions out of USC,
Yep.
I still think he would have been awesome
if
he didn't have that 1 year off from the NFL when he couldn't get drafted.
Yep.
And he just showed up fat as fuck.
Yeah, the Lions were that stretch. The Matt Millen, I don't know if Matt Millen drafted Joey Harrington, but like when the Lions were like, we're just going to create a fantasy team.
I love that strategy.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, if you're not going to be good, at least be entertaining.
Who's the other receiver? It was
Calvin Johnson.
No.
They took first overall.
No, the Texas.
Roy Williams.
Yeah, Roy Williams, Texas. Roy Williams. Yeah, he was going to be sick too.
McCaffrey left in a walking boot today.
Yeah,
so this is about the clock was getting to be about that time. Christian McCaffrey's body is more reliable than the Tides.
Yeah,
you can just tell after like 3 weeks. Okay, it's about time for McCaffrey to take another 2 weeks off.
It sucks too because he really did look like a couple weeks ago like he was back. So much so that I bet every single prop on him today.
Yep. I had a great feeling. Nobody cares about your fantasy team, but I did start McCaffrey and Hubbard today because I just felt like
this was an injury.
This was the injury week for Christian McCaffrey. The scientists use his hamstrings to calibrate instruments for accurate notions of time.
Yes. Where's Joey Harrington now? Can you find that for me?
He's running a charity out in Portland.
Got it. So that's a sign of I made a fuck ton of money and I took care of it.
Yeah.
My life is pretty damn good. Don't cry for me, Joey Harrington.
No, he's doing great. He's probably a listener.
Yeah, he is. What up, Joey? I still think you could fucking light it up, bro.
Joey, send me an autographed jeans picture.
2003 cover? 2003 cover?
The first article that pops up is playing for the Detroit Lions drove Joey Harrington into depression.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, duh.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joey.
03, the NCAA cover? Yeah. He was awesome. That was Joey Harrington.
Joey Harrington career earnings.
There is a part of Joey Harrington where like I do think that he could have dropped the Y and been a lot better.
Joseph?
No, just Joe Harrington.
Joe Harrington?
Yeah, Joey just it felt very like kid, little kid just throwing it around the yard.
Doesn't look like he made that much money.
Really?
I think relatively speaking, I think he made. Oh wait, $31 million. That's pretty good.
All right,
I was reading the other column. I told you I sucked at Excel.
He also like Joey Harrington. If you're gonna be a high draft pick and get paid a lot of money, it's almost better to like suck right away. So you're like, okay, this isn't for me. I got to save my money. Like there was never an illusion of Joey Harrington. Like I'm gonna get a big second contract here. He knew like, all right, this is. Like David Carr probably did the same thing. Where David Carr was like, "This isn't gonna work."
He's like, "I'm gonna elect to be a great backup for a long time."
Yeah, like there's something nice about knowing that. Yeah, okay, so the money you just made, let's just stick with that and maybe save it a little bit because the next one's not coming.
Yeah, he's so on his rookie salary, $7 million, and then $2 million, then $8 million under his original contract. If you know after that first year, which he did, being on the Lions, that this is not going to be something that you'll be a professional at until you're 40 years old, then yeah, you transition elegantly into backup, which he did for the rest of his career, and he was fine. And then he realized, you know what? I don't really want to go to training camp anymore. I've already made $30 million. See, I'm going to go run a charity in Portland.
Yeah.
Good for you, Joey.
That year, he threw, in college, he threw 27 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot in 2001.
And smart move on his part, moving back to Oregon.
Yes.
Because if you ever find yourself in a situation where, I don't know, maybe your pocket's feeling a little bit light that month, you can just go down to the local car dealership and be like, hey, can I do the Joey special?
Yeah.
Do a commercial real quick.
Let me throw on some jeans. Put me next to that cover.
Yeah.
We'll be good to go. All right, next game. Jets Texans. Billy, you're up. Wins for the boys this week. Wait, PFT. If you don't win on Monday Night Football,
I know. I got a lot.
Week 12 would be a clean sweep of the teams.
I got a lot of work to do.
Holy shit! Has that ever? I don't think that. There's no way that's happened.
I mean, it's the Jets, Dolphins football team, and Bears. So probably not. Hank's over here like just looking. It must be so awesome to be a Patriots fan. I was thinking about that today. Like even your bad years aren't that bad. And then you're back to being good again, and it's been like this for his entire fucking life.
I remember when we were still doing the rundown, like there was one Monday where Kevin, the Jets and the Bears won and the Patriots lost, and we're like, wait, what? What's going on here?
It's ridiculous. If you're a Patriots fan, I don't even think you know how good you have it, Hank.
Someone posted the stat. I can't find it right now, but it was like the point differential of the last 20 years.
Oh, I saw that.
And it was like the Patriots were ahead of the Steelers by like double what they had. I think it was the Patriots were plus 1,000.
It was when everyone's missing field goals.
And number 2 was like plus 400.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane.
That's 20 years.
Yeah.
Every week you know the Patriots are probably going to win.
This technically counts as Jets talk, by the way.
It
just
does.
so everyone knows, this is Jets Texans talk.
I mean,
you're doing the time of
and
how
then
long
people
we're
get
talking
mad.
about it.
It's
This
like,
is
what do you
part
want me
of
to
it.
do?
Do you think after Belichick, after he retires, if they make a misstep in hiring their next coach, you think everyone in like New England's going to go suey season?
Yeah.
It's going to be Steve, dude.
Steve
Belichick.
You think so?
Why not?
Poor what's his name, McDaniels.
Maybe that'll be the interim.
Maybe 1 year. All right, so Jets Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that did count. So there is a guy who like keeps a clock of everything. This is like
the description of the show.
Oh yeah, this is like when I hit the chess timer.
Mm-hmm.
I've already hit the chess timer for Jets Texans.
Right, we're still going. Even this talk about how we're talking about
exactly.
the Jets Texans counts as Jets Texans talk. My big takeaway from this is so to add this Texans win to their wins against the Titans and the Bengals, does this mean that the Texans are good?
Wait, what do you mean?
Because the Jets only beat good teams.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I don't know. So congratulations on beating another good team today, Billy.
I was gonna say my only takeaway was Zach Wilson, who had the funniest interception of the year.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Carson Wentz still, but no, that was actually smart by him because if he took a safety, it would have been a game over. But Zach Wilson throwing a shovel pass off of was it his tight end, his running back, who wasn't looking, off of his back into a Texan's hands. That was awesome.
When he threw it, he was looking. He turned around to block for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson still hurt.
He is
still hurt. Yeah.
Limping.
Banged up.
You know, that I did see a quote afterwards. Not the best when your franchise quarterback, number 2 pick in the draft, is like, my knee doesn't feel stable. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a doctor, but that doesn't feel great.
It was funny when he threw that interception, Billy's immediate reaction was, well, that's basically an intercept, or that's like punt. A punt. That INT is as good as a punt. And in a way it was. Like the worst punt of all time.
Yeah, he was like, it's third down. It was basically a punt. It's like, well, it was basically at the line of scrimmage.
Third and long. Yeah, no, actually
punt.
terrible.
Yeah.
Trying to stay positive. Josh Johnson probably should have started. Would have been an easier win. But Zach Wilson in the game is still investing in the future. That's what we're going with.
What do you think about his haircut? Because he always wears the headband, which is a pretty cool look. But today his headband came off on one play. They ripped his helmet off.
Uh-oh.
And I saw that he's got like a reverse mullet situation. It's business in the back and party in the front. It's like super long just at the front of his hairline and then really short everywhere else.
As someone who kind of gets the same haircut, I actually have to defend it. It's kind of swag.
Okay. There it is. It's kind of swag. Put that on a quote. It's kind of swag.
It's kind of swag, maybe.
You're really backing your guy there. Kind of swag.
Hope for the future.
Texans. The only thing I have from them is Justin Reed, maybe their best player, got benched for seemingly no reason. On Friday, he was told he was benched. And the Texans culture is the most baffling thing in the world. They basically, it's like Scientology down there.
I would say that it'd be weirder if they continued to play all their best players. They hired the perfect coach to do weird shit that makes no sense that will eventually elevate their draft picks.
But this is one of their best players that, like, I think his contract is up maybe next year or the year after, where it's like he's one of the guys that should be around when you start to build for the future. And the quote was, so he was benched on Friday. He said, "I'm actually really shocked at Coach Culley's decision to make me inactive. I couldn't believe it. That sounds good. That sounds like a healthy relationship down in Houston.
You think Culley's coming back next year? Would you want to come back? We've talked about whether or not you'd want to play for the Texans. Would you want to coach the Texans right now?
I think he's coming back, and I think he's coming back because is anyone asking for him to get fired? What Texans fans, tell us what's going on, because I think they're at like sell the franchise mode.
Oh, big time. It's actually a very good job to have because they're so disengaged.
No state income tax.
No state income tax. They're so disengaged that they won't ever take an active interest in how you're performing at your job.
Right.
Which is actually a great place to be as a coach.
Yes. So that's Jets, Texans. Any other notes to keep the clock running? No?
Josh Johnson's 2-point conversion was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's true. Which he's your third string quarterback.
Also, there was reports that their mics were being messed with during the game, which is why the communication.
Now that would absolutely, like, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of cheating in the NFL, the Texans cheating against the Jets has to be the worst use of your cheating card.
I think it might sneaky be a good use of it because you're not going to get caught. No one's going to care.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Billy just told us, and I don't care.
Yeah, even if you do get caught, it's like, okay, so you use cheating to win against the worst team.
Yeah, but imagine if they get sanctions for this.
You gotta grade that on a scale.
He can't be. He just has to be like, you know what, this game shouldn't have even happened.
How did you cheat against the New York Jets? Well, we played them in a football game.
Yeah,
we competed against them.
We tried hard.
Yeah,
Jets defense tries hard. There it is.
Very hard.
Something nice about the Jets. They do try hard. And there's something about being a really, really bad team. Like, I can speak to this myself, beating the Lions on Thursday. When you beat a team that in your head you're like, that team's worse than us, and then you actually beat them, it does feel good. You're like, you know what? We're not that team.
I like it when coaches celebrate beating shitty teams. Because at the end of this, Salah, and now Billy's got me all fucked up in how to say his name.
Salah.
It's Salah. He's been saying Salah. But when Salah ran out onto the field, he was actually pumped. He was excited to get that victory.
Yes.
He was proud of his guys. Whereas if you see a guy like Urban Meyer, when his team wins, he's just like, get me off this fucking sideline right now. At least I didn't lose.
Here. Yes.
Youngest starters in the NFL, 61% of starters are pretty young, I think under 25.
61% of starters are pretty young.
These are good stats.
That's a stat that's from my brain. I
also,
don't think it's right.
I love it.
You guys are doing, it's a mark of again, not to make it about the Bears, but and actually Washington football team, you can speak to it as well. It's a mark of a really bad team when you're getting to your fourth and fifth quarterback on the season. You're like, oh, this is how many guys took a snap? This is how many guys started a game?
When you don't know who's going to start the next game, and it happens to you 3 weeks in a row, that's when you know that you've achieved a level of clown fuckery that you never want to return to.
It's very, very bad.
And usually Josh Johnson is involved in that discussion.
Yeah. That's like when everyone would yell and be like, Jay Cutler's not the answer. I'm like, but at least he starts every week most of the time,
you get
except for when he gets injured.
You get the feeling of some consistency if it's the same guy week in, week out.
Yeah. Exactly.
62.1% of the Jets' defense is under 25.
Wow. What a stat. Let's go, Billy.
That seems high.
That's the future. You're building for the future. All right. That was way too much Jets-Texans talk. Bengals, Steelers. The Steelers whooped the Bengals. The Bengals whooped the Steelers. The last 3 times the Bengals and Steelers have played, the Bengals are winning 92-37. They kick their ass. And they also, Big Ben, it's over.
This felt like a torch game, not for Big Ben passing anything to Joe Burrow, but more just the Steelers' torch getting snuffed out. This iteration of the Steelers.
Yes.
Big Ben, just kill him on the field. Just euthanize him. It was so sad to watch. He looked like a horse with a broken leg trying to run down the stretch. The pick six that he had, it was in the air for longer than most punts.
It was so bad. It was... But you know what I was thinking about too, because there have been moments where I've been like, Big Ben's not that washed. He's done something that every quarterback that wants to hold on for as long as possible should take a note from. Big Ben, he's not good anymore. He's slow. He's he can't make throws.
He's confused too.
Their entire offense is underneath passes that are short of the first down line or bombs down the sideline. But the bombs down the sideline, he overthrows it a lot.
So
you're like, whoa, his arms still got zipped.
The bombs on the sideline sometimes look pretty good.
Yeah.
If he puts it in between the numbers and the sideline, he'll be good for like 4 or 5 of those completions a game.
Yeah.
But it's everything else doesn't really work. And it's sad watching his brain try to understand why his body doesn't do all the things that he's telling it to do.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't get that he's old now. He still feels young. I think his arm strength looks pretty bad. I think they should let him start jacking off again.
Yeah.
I think that once he stopped watching porn, he lost a lot of that quick twitch stuff in his arm. Let him jerk off. It can't be any worse.
You know what? It's sad. I'm happy, though. Here's what I'll say, is I'm happy that Phil Rivers and Big Ben at least staggered their retirements.
It would be too much.
This is going to hurt. He is so funny. He's just I'm going to miss him so much, but man, is he bad. And Steelers fans, they all are like, dude, this sucks now. It really, really sucks. Not to mention, I'm not going to throw it all on Big Ben. The Steelers, the Steelers, everyone thinks defense, and they had a great defense last year. Their run defense is bad. Like, they get run over. They got run over by Joe Mixon. The Bengals that was an absolute, man up. Just from the first fucking play to the end of the game, they just kicked the shit out of the Steelers. And, the Bengals are now, they peaked too early, but they're now back to being like, this is a good team. This is a very solid team.
I think that Joe Burrow has been upgraded from functional speed to deceptively fast now.
Yes.
Because he's the new king of doing little slow motion jukes on people. Way more athletic players than he is, and having it actually work.
Yeah.
I think he juked out Minkah Fitzpatrick at the goal line today on a sick run. One of those runs where I saw him in the open field, and I'm still in my head thinking, like, Joe Burrow, I saw the scar on his knee.
Yep.
He's still injured. But he was going downhill in the open field. I was like, get down, Joe. And then he put, the world's slowest sidestep on Fitzpatrick, who's a great tackler, and it somehow worked, and he got in the end zone.
Yeah. So, the Bengals they have a tough stretch down the stretch here. They have Chargers, Niners, at the Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, at the Browns. They're going to be tested, but I think that they are officially they're not in. Well, actually, you know what? The AFC is so wide open. Here's what I'll say about the Bengals. They're more than competent. I wouldn't say they're great. No, they're just good. They're just a good team.
They're a good team.
They're a good team. They're a solid team. They play good defense. They can run the ball, and Joe Burrow's awesome. They do everything very, very well. And, yeah, I believe in the Bengals.
I think the Bengals are a couple pieces away from being a legit Super Bowl contender. They're not there yet, but they've got enough foundation around them where I don't think that you're going to see too many games where the Bengals show up and get whooped. They're unwhoopable.
Here's why I'm pausing, because I got burned before. Mm-hmm. They beat the Ravens in that game, whatever it was, week 7, and we were like, holy shit, the Bengals are for real. Mm-hmm. And they went out and lost to the Jets and then got whooped by the Browns. They got whooped by the Browns.
Yeah, they did.
So that is why I'm pausing right now, to be like, don't fall into that trap again. But I don't know if it's a trap. I think they took their licks after they hit the that peak early on, and now they're back to being a very good team. Very good. I said very good.
Now, what was our final ruling on that game against the Browns? Was that a whooping or a clowning?
I mean, they got whooped by the Browns. Really? They got whooped.
It was 41-6.
Yeah, they got whooped. 41-16. They got whooped.
41-16.
Full on whooped.
But then they bounced back and they whooped the Raiders.
Yeah,
and then this week they beat down the Steelers.
Yeah, they've come back from it. So I just don't want to fall. I don't want to sit here. I'm actually doing the Bengals fans a favor. I don't want to say the Bengals are a true contender, because then they'll probably get whooped again.
I think in my mind right now the Bengals are their ceiling is exactly as high as the Chargers, and they're playing the Chargers next week. Whoever wins that game is going to take that place.
We can talk about the Chargers.
They look bad, but they still have something in them, I think.
No, I don't think the Chargers are good. What are you going to say, Billy?
I'd say the Bengals undressed the Steelers.
Oh,
undressed them. That's usually Big Ben's thing.
I think he undressed them.
Yeah.
I think it's just all unraveled for the Steelers. They undressed them.
Quick rankings of AFC North quarterbacks. Our good friend Tom Fernelli asked us to do this, so let's do it for him.
For Tom, okay. Now, are we doing to build on for the future or this year?
I think it's just right this second. Joe Burrow 1.
Jarvis Landry 2.
Tyler Huntley 3. 1-0.
Baker 4.
Lamar 5.
I don't know.
Mason Rudolph 6.
Dwayne Haskins.
I'm going to have Lamar above Baker. Baker behind Lamar. Mason Rudolph. Dwayne Haskins.
I'm going to put Dwayne Haskins in front of Ben.
Case Keenum,
That's
Big
it.
Ben. Big Ben.
Yep.
Big Ben.
That
So there
sounds
it
that
is.
sounds right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Done.
All right, next game. Falcons, Jaguars. The Jaguars, Jackson DeVille, he got caught. His bungee got caught.
I fucking love Jackson DeVille because this happens to him like 5 times a year,
funny.
and he doesn't care. He's like,
Yeah.
I got to get back on that horse and try something crazy. Can you imagine a worse fate though, dying as the Jaguars mascot
No.
before a game?
No, actually, yes, I can. Being the person who also dies because the Jaguars mascot fell on you.
Yeah, that would be
That
tough.
would be way worse.
It would just be such a sad obituary to read. Like, he was Jackson DeVille,
Yeah.
and he died in a game that nobody watched. The Red Zone didn't even show this game.
And not only that, but we should have seen it coming because he's flirted with it many, many times before.
Yes, he comes very close to dying multiple times a year. I respect the hell out of him.
Like-
I'm just worried that it's going to end ugly.
Can anyone in the Jaguars front office, like stadium ops or whatever, maybe watch The Dark Side of the Ring, Owen Hart? Like, please, just let us. Like, don't do this, okay? We've come a long way in technology here.
Maybe he wants to die.
Maybe.
Like,
because
we regret to inform you that your son passed away bungee jumping off of a pool inside Everbank Stadium before a game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Atlanta Falcons.
he could steal the headline of the season. Well, it'd still be Urban Meyer going knuckles deep.
Probably.
But he would be maybe 2 or 3.
They'd have to name the stadium, or at least the field after him.
Yeah.
Or maybe the upright that he drives his Segway into.
Yeah. All right, so this game, Falcons, Cordarrelle Patterson, definitely the most important player for the Falcons. You saw that last 2 games, they scored a total of 3 points. Then today he had 2 touchdowns. He played running back like pretty much the entire day. The Falcons all of a sudden had a running game. The Jaguars, they fought. They kind of fought. I would actually say the nicest thing about the Jaguars is actually not about the Jaguars. It's about Urban Meyer, who's the coach of the Jaguars, but not about his time coaching the Jaguars. It's that Jim Harbaugh said the thing about Ryan Day, some people are born on third and thought they hit a triple, basically saying that Urban Meyer built the entire Ohio State program. That's the best thing that happened to the Jaguars this weekend.
Yeah, Urban Meyer, you could tell the instant that he was informed, like someone came up to him and whispered on the sideline, hey, USC just hired Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
And he did the thing, hands on the knees, staring down at the
not
ground
again.
where his ball should be dragging. He was pretty upset about that. I think, and this is weird to think about, but the Falcons have a pretty good chance at making the playoffs. These Falcons. You remember the Falcons that we saw last week?
Yeah.
You remember that team?
Or the week before?
Yeah, or the week before that.
Where they scored 3 points?
They might make the playoffs, and I think I've decided to root. If I'm not going to be rooting for the Washington football team, let's throw my own allegiances out. I'm rooting for the Falcons to make the playoffs this year because I think they might be the worst team in the history of the NFL to make the playoffs, if they do make the playoffs.
I'm looking at their schedule.
So they can beat the
definitely have
Saints.
3. They have 3 more losses, though, guaranteed.
They could beat the Saints. They can beat the Panthers.
They're not going to the 49ers. That's Dan Quinn moment right there. Going to San Francisco, they're going to kick field goals when they shouldn't. That's going to happen. And
The
they're
Lions?
definitely not beating the Bills on January 2nd in Buffalo.
When the
Give
Bills
me a
also
break.
probably need that win.
Yeah, give me that is the most. That might be my game of the year on January 2nd.
I'm rooting for the Falcons to make the playoffs, so I want it to happen so very badly.
But they're gonna need some help because I don't see a world where the best they can finish is 8-9 in my opinion. If you're looking at the rest
That
of
could
their
get you to the
schedule.
playoffs.
Nah, I think there's going to be there's so many teams. The playoff picture is so muddled. One of these teams has to break out. Has to, right? One of them has to.
I don't know.
Like someone's going to have to play good football down the stretch. Who's going to step up? You know what it's going to be? It's going to be the fucking Seahawks out of nowhere. Seahawks are going to just run the table after I swore them off.
Yeah, Russell Wilson needs 3 more weeks of 25-hour-a-day just straight-up rehab, and then they'll be good.
I put down a note because we watched actually the entire fourth quarter of this game because I was worried that the Jaguars were going to come back and the Falcons were going to falcon. Trevor Lawrence didn't look so bad.
I think you saw one play where he ran with the football and looked competent, and you're like, that's the system that Trevor
counts.
Lawrence should
That
be doing.
counts.
I don't
That
think
counts.
I don't think he looked very good today.
Well, I said that's the same as he didn't look so bad.
He didn't look so bad.
That's
yeah,
the glass half full, glass half empty guy.
that's true. He didn't look like a confirmed bust.
Yeah. I also have a fun stat for you, and then we can move on because this is another game we've talked about for far too long. The Jaguars are 2-9. They're 2-9. So Urban Meyer, 7 seasons at Ohio State. It actually was 10 years ago today that he was hired at Ohio State.
Tattoo Gate.
7 seasons, yes.
Do you ever think back to that and you're like, where were we as a society when Jim Tressel was fired after being like the best coach in the history of Ohio State, not named Woody Hayes, because Terrell Pryor got free tattoos?
Or how about the fact
He resigned in disgrace. He even said, like, I've brought great shame to the state of Ohio because Terrell Pryor got a tattoo.
Do you know what I think about more than that is the fact that Luke Fickell, who is like the hottest name in all of coaching, who's going to bring Cincinnati to a playoff, which is like improbable. He was the interim head coach in between, what's his name? Jim. Tressel and Urban Meyer. Thank you. We're getting to that point of the night. He was the interim coach that gap year. He was the last coach to lose to Michigan. So, but it's funny because it's like Luke Fickell. You think of right now, it's like that is a bona fide, incredible coach. Like he could name the job that he wants right now. Mm-hmm. He probably wants to stay in Cincinnati, but he was that guy in 2011 who coached Ohio State, who last lost to Michigan.
You feel like Ryan Day got that job because he knew where all the bodies were buried?
A little bit, maybe.
You want to keep your enemies closer?
Yeah. All right. So my stat though. So Urban Meyer was hired 10 years ago today. He coached at Ohio State for 7 seasons. The Jaguars are 2-9. Urban Meyer at Ohio State was 83-9. Today he finally got as many losses in the NFL. Took 11 games as he had at Ohio State in a 7-year span. He went 83-9 in 7 years at Ohio State. He's 2-9 at the Jaguars.
Do you think when he took the job with the Jaguars, everyone obviously had to tell him, hey, listen, you're going to have way tougher times here than you had when you're coaching college football. It's not going to be as easy for you. You're going to have some losses that get piled up. Do you think in his wildest imagination he would be at 2-9, or was he so delusional that he thought like year one, I'm gonna be 9-2.
He's definitely was delusional, but I think he probably has reached a comfort now because when you go 83-9 over 7 years, like I can list the losses that Ohio State took. They were all big moments. Everyone talked about it. You know what I mean? They lost to Virginia Tech. They lost to Purdue. Like all these big losses that were like, holy shit, how did Ohio State lose this game? 2-9 with the Jaguars. Like, oh yeah, they lost the Falcons. Who cares? Mm-hmm. They suck. You know what I mean? Yep. Like it's got to be nice to just have it wash over you.
Yeah, you think he's reached that point though?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just let the misery wash over you.
Yeah.
You don't think he's spending extra time at the facility this week?
No, I don't think he's probably gonna retire again after this year.
Yeah, he's hoping that LSU hires Brian Kelly so that then he can
go to Notre Dame.
It's still in his head. He's so delusional that he's like, Notre Dame would hire me tomorrow.
I honestly think he should go to Ohio State and be like, you know who never lost to Michigan? Me.
Go back.
I'm the guy. Yeah. Ryan Day. See ya, dude.
Well, the thing is,
I think they would actually.
I think Ohio State might do it.
Yes,
and
he never lost to Michigan.
It would send such a hilarious message to Michigan.
Yeah,
like you finally get over this hump, and you're like, guess what? We're just going to bring back the guy that used to whoop your ass. So we tolerate losing to you so little that we're going to go with the worst ethical decision we could possibly make because that's all we care about. I actually hope that Urban Meyer goes to the Raiders. How awesome would that be? Urban in Vegas?
Rich Bisaccia, though, I saw a report. I think he's going to get the job because Mark Davis just doesn't want to do a search. It was literally like Mark Davis is in no rush to do a coach search. Mark Davis is just like us. He doesn't want to actually have to do interviews and talk to people.
I also think Mark Davis is probably the owner who right now is most susceptible to the crying coach to get you to keep him on going into next. Like if Rich Bisaccia walks into P.F. Chang's and sits down at a nice candlelit dinner and starts weeping before the Bang Bang Shrimp comes out, Mark Davis is like, name your price.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, PFT, Dat Chat. Talk to me about it real quick.
I love Dat Chat. I use Dat Chat all the time, actually. I was answering some questions on the live stream on Dat Chat today. Dat Chat is a new social media application. It's a social networking messaging app. A bunch of us here at Barstool are now using it. You can download Dat Chat for iPhone and Android in the app stores right now. Why would you want to download Dat Chat? Well, it's a great place for us to interact with our fans. You can comment, like messages, and you can chat with Barstool Sports talent. talk about the biggest sports games on TV, Bachelor with Cutting Stems, pop culture with Chicks in the Office, conspiracy theories with the Macrodosing guys, and so much more across all of our franchises. Go download the app right now. Best part about Dat Chat is the messages disappear. You can't screenshot them. It's a very secure app. Download Dat Chat for iPhone and Android in the app stores right now, or go to datchat.com/barstool. Get more info. Download Dat Chat today at datchat.com/barstool, or you can find it on the iPhone and Android app stores right now.
Okay, Broncos Chargers. We brought it up, but why are the Chargers deemed good?
I think the Chargers are deemed good because their wide receivers are awesome. That's a lot of it. Their wide receivers and Austin Eckler are very good, and then Justin Herbert, when he plays well, you can see the offensive weapons being put together in a way that this team could beat almost any other team when everything is hitting. And also Brandon Staley. I still like Brandon Staley.
I do too.
But they're a good team, but they really do suck.
Yeah, no, I posed the question as I was watching that Broncos-Chargers game because all I ever hear is the Chargers are good, the Chargers are good. This isn't you. I'm talking about like the national media says it. Stu Feiner says it. He has the #1 power-rated team. They're good, they're good, they're good. And then every time I watch them, I'm like, they're not really that good. They can't ever stop the run. Their offensive line has major issues. And Justin Herbert, who I like and I think is very good, has like big-time bonehead plays, which he should because he's a young quarterback. But I'm just not ready to call them good yet because like they had a really good start to the season. They wowed us on that game, that Monday Night Football game against the Raiders. They beat the Chiefs. Brandon Staley went viral like every 2 seconds for an awesome answer, which, again, I like Brandon Staley, so I'm not saying that it was wrong that he went viral. He's a coach that I would love to have coaching the Bears. But since then, they've lost. Like, they've been bad for a month and a half, and I keep watching them being like, are they going to be good? No, they're not. But then I turn on the TV on Monday, it's like the Chargers. Watch out for the Chargers.
I think that they still have it in them.
I don't.
So the big difference, I think, is that their offensive line has played really badly for the last few weeks. Really, really poorly. But before that, when they were mauling people, they were a pretty good team.
They've lost.
And honestly, it goes back to me looking at their wide receivers and being like, Keenan Allen's great. Mike Williams, when he's catching the ball, when they're throwing it to him, he's a big dude that can get a lot of targets in the red area, and also the fact that I have a future on them to win that division. That weighs in heavily to my personal power rankings of the San Diego Chargers.
Because like right now, if you're talking right this second, I think they are the worst team in the AFC West.
If you want to be objective about it, I don't like being objective about things, but yes, you're right. I mean, they got their ass kicked today by the Broncos, who I think a lot of people thought they were the worst team in that division.
Right, and their 2 wins in the last month and a half has been against the Eagles, and it was a close win, which, it was a win, but it was a close win, and then the Steelers, who are a disaster at this point. So, they've gone up against the Broncos, the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Vikings lost all 4 of those, so they're 2-4 in their last 6. I'm not saying the Chargers aren't building something because they clearly are. They have a good coach. They have a really good quarterback. But as it currently stands, every time I watch them, I'm like, this team's not that good. They always seem – you know what it seems like? It seems like the Chargers are always just like they're desperately trying to make a big play that's just not there. Like it feels like every time you turn on a Chargers game, they're down a score and Justin Herbert's running for his life and trying to throw it downfield to they're always in like a 3rd and 9 situation, and he's like throwing it to a guy who's triple teamed, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and recently it has not been working.
I think that they're going to end up with 9 or 10 wins, which that's going to have them like borderline making the playoffs.
Yeah, they could make the playoffs, but I will bet against them in the first round. Like, I just don't think there's nothing about them. Like right now, I think the Colts are way better than the Chargers as a football team.
You know who you need on the Chargers? They don't have like a loose cannon. They don't have anybody that's just like kind of crazy. And I'm not even talking about like a good player that's kind of just someone who's like a little bit of a wild card. There's 0 wild cards on that team.
Yeah, they have a good young base that's just not playing good football right now. And I think there's partially too like their logo's always cool. Like if we really want to break it down in like the science behind why we still think the Chargers might be good is I definitely think their colors play into it.
Their
I know that
uniforms,
sounds very
when
stupid.
they put on the powder blue,
Yeah.
you want the powder blues to be good. You don't want to associate the powder blues with all the shitty times. You don't want to think about the season where they were first on offense and defense and their special teams sucked so bad that they didn't even make the playoffs.
Right, and their like big moments are, like I said, the Monday Night Football game, beating the Chiefs, that Browns game that was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you play in 3 or 4 games that are memorable and you win those games, because then they've lost games that you're like, oh, I forgot they even got killed by the Ravens because it happened at 1 o'clock, and they were never in that game that I just completely forgot it happened. But either way, remind me not to bet on the Chargers. I'm just not going to bet on the Chargers anymore. I have to stop betting on the Chargers because even the next 2 games are against 2 teams that I could convince myself the Chargers are better than, and they're not. The Bengals and the Giants. Like, I'm going to tell myself the Chargers are better than them, and then I'm going to go into the game and bet the Chargers and be like, what the fuck was I doing?
I'm considering betting on them next week.
Against the Bengals?
Because that's the formula. That's the formula. The Bengals are awesome right now.
How to do this week? There weren't that many, right?
I don't know. I'll have to run the numbers on that.
Okay, deep numbers.
Yep.
The Broncos, Drew Lock, that was awesome. We got to remind ourselves that Drew Lock sucks.
It's perfect. He got in the game, fumbled immediately.
It's like
Drew,
and then
Drew,
threw a pick.
Drew Lock with fumbles is like Josh Rosen with interceptions. It's so satisfying when they get in and it immediately happens.
It was so great too because then Teddy Bridgewater, who I think was injured, came back in as like an injured Teddy Bridgewater's better than what Drew Lock is doing right now.
Way better.
But it was kind of a reminder like, oh, Drew Lock's out there. And we had the debate when it was happening. Like, say what you want about Drew Lock. He's at least fun bad.
Yeah.
Like he's excitingly bad.
I don't like the idea of Drew Lock as a backup though. Or I would like him as a backup, but I don't think that other teams would sign Drew Lock to be the guy as the backup.
Yeah, because he makes mistakes.
Because he gets in and he's either going to play so well in like a 2-game span that if your real starter is just average at the time, people are going to want Drew Lock to be the starter, and then he's going to get back to bad Drew Lock and fuck it all up.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah,
it's good to see him though. Good to see that he's out there doing the same Drew Lock things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to change Drew Lock.
No,
I
you're
think
not.
Drew is just Drew.
Yes. And then the only other note I had from this game, it's going to keep fucking me up probably for his entire career, but Patrick Surtain II, he's playing way too close to his father playing. And so like every time he had 2 picks today, he was awesome and he's been awesome, but every time I see his name, I'm like, oh yeah, Patrick Surtain. He's like a wily vet they have in their secondary, and he's a rookie. But because his dad last played in 2008, I'm like, well, no, that guy. You need more gap. I needed more gap in that time.
Well, who do you think has the best defensive back family? Talking father-son duo, him or Asante Samuel and Asante Samuel Jr.?
That's another one where it's like
hate
that's too early.
I hate seeing Asante Samuel Jr. out there.
I need like 20 years because like Patrick Surtain II is very, very good.
Are we ever going to get a dad that plays with his son?
I mean Tom Brady.
How are his son?
LeBron. Yeah, LeBron.
What do you mean plays with his son? Oh, LeBron, yeah.
LeBron
Jr.,
is going to. LeBron's definitely waiting to play with Bronny.
Bronny and
Like,
Bron
he
Jr.,
absolutely
yeah.
is. Yeah, I mean, it's too bad that it happened so long ago, but the Ken Griffey Jr. thing is very, very cool.
That was sick. I think
They
baseball
homered in the same inning,
baseball
right?
is really the only sport that you can expect that to ever happen.
No, LeBron's going to do it.
I don't know.
No.
Is he gonna force the Lakers to draft Bronny?
He's said that he's like, I'm pretty sure he's just going to keep playing until Bronny's playing.
Frank Gore Jr. is on Southern Miss.
Oh, yeah, he
Maybe
played
Frank Gore
Wildcat
said-
quarterback.
Frank Gore said in the interview last week he's not
That's
retired
true.
yet, right?
That's true.
So you never know.
We also saw in this game the first example of what, unfortunately, I think will be many, of a running back trying to jump over a defender, getting clipped in their knee, and then doing a 360 spin and land on the ground. Because as more and more players start to do the hurdle, and if you've only been watching football for the last, I'd say 12 or 13 years, you think it's pretty common for somebody to hurdle over someone. We used to get like one of those a year.
Yes.
And it'd be like, holy shit, look what this guy was able to do. That's unbelievable. Now defensive backs are starting to adjust their pad level going into those tackles, so they're hitting a little bit higher, but running backs still haven't adjusted theirs back down.
Right.
And so you're going to see somebody get absolutely wrecked this year. I hope no injuries, but it looked like it was close to a guy like breaking his neck in this game.
Well, that's a good segue because in the 49ers-Vikings game, our guy Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah, Juszczyk. What's his name?
Kyle Juszczyk.
Juszczyk?
Kyle Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. So none of us had it. Juszczyk? He hurdled from like the 5-yard line. It was awesome.
He thought that he was going to go 6 yards into the end zone over 5 guys.
Yeah. It was so sick.
I loved it.
It was so awesome. He was just like, fuck it, I'm sending it. But this
you could
game,
like land on top of him and then kind of roll off into the end zone.
Yeah, never be down.
Yeah.
This game was the 49ers have their groove back. They have fully found their groove. Like Kyle Shanahan basically saying Deebo Samuel is now a running back and I'm going to run him and no one's going to be able to stop us is awesome. And I love it.
And this was also the perfect Kirk Cousins game.
Yeah,
because he was playing really well in the first half.
Yep.
And then I see the smirk on Big Cat's face, and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
We try to warn you every week in and week out on this show. We don't just hate Kirk Cousins because it's fun to hate Kirk Cousins, which it is, but we also do it as a service because we've seen enough of Kirk Cousins to know exactly what he is, and that's a very good quarterback that gets paid like he's a great quarterback and will hamstring your franchise for the foreseeable future and then always let you down in big moments. That's just what he is.
And Vikings fans, Kirk Cousins fans will respond with, you would kill for Kirk Cousins on the Bears or you'd kill for Kirk Cousins on the Washington football team? Not at that price. No,
I had
absolutely
Kirk Cousins.
not. Yeah.
I had Kirk Cousins for cheaper, for like an endless supply of franchise tags that we put on him.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what he is, and I guess I'm just speaking from experience. I don't want another franchise to go through what I went through.
I think deep down Vikings fans know this. I think most of them do.
But you never want to admit that in the moment.
Right, because he has been playing well this year. His numbers look good, but then you get into a game where he needs to make some big throws, and the 49ers basically sold out on stopping the run. And then you have Kirk Cousins who has to win you a game.
You're going to have Kirk Cousins throwing for like 250 yards in the first half, 2 touchdowns, lighting the world on fire. Then you get down by 3 points, and Kirk Cousins lines up underneath the right guard instead of underneath the center.
Which I thought was a trick play in the moment.
It looked like it would have been a trick play. I imagine if you're that right guard, though, and you just like get down to your 3-point stance, and all of a sudden there's some guy grabbing your asshole. And you're like, wait, what? It's Kirk?
That was an all-time, hey, Kirk, maybe settle down here, buddy.
Yeah, he gets too excited sometimes at the ends of halves.
Yeah.
He gets all worked up, and he wants to make something happen. Credit to Kirk. He's become like a fiery guy, which is something that you never would have said about him in the first couple of years that he was playing. But he's become an emotional guy, but sometimes he gets too emotional.
Yeah.
And he doesn't think clearly.
It was perfect because Hank live bet the Vikings when they were down, which was a good bet because they did kind of come back and they had the ball twice.
I was
down
rooting
8.
for Hank.
Yeah, but he said out loud, he's like, it doesn't feel good having to root for Kirk Cousins to have a touchdown drive here. And you just knew it. Like, it just wasn't going to happen. But you know what? And I actually looked at the schedule before when I was taking notes. I was like, let me make sure that the Bears aren't playing the Vikings next week so that I don't get totally shit on, which will happen. Like, the Vikings will beat the Bears, and Kirk Cousins will probably look okay. Although we've played him pretty tough and made him look like short Kirk Cousins, because when he's playing bad, he looks short because he like turtles in the pocket and gets sacked by – Kirk Cousins is the best player in the NFL to get sacked by the entire offensive and defensive line at the same time. Like, everyone just implodes on top of him. But it's a couple weeks away, so I can at least say this now without having to get the repercussions immediately. It's just Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, and you can look at the stat sheet and be like, this is awesome, but then you watch the game and you're like, maybe not.
I just saw the replay of him lining up underneath the guard, and Alexander Madison has to run up to him and like tap him on the shoulder, be like, "Hey, Kirk, that's the wrong asshole."
Wrong, yeah. You're in the wrong fucking hole, dude.
Call a timeout, Kirk. It was an ugly end of the game, but I'll say something nice about Kirk Cousins. I would rather have Kirk Cousins for his price tag than have Jimmy G for his price tag. Right now. And those are like the two quarterbacks that they're always going to be compared because they're both tremendously overpaid.
Actually, that's a really good point because I completely agree. Like, the 49ers have got their swag back. They run the ball, they run the ball, they run the ball. They basically say you're not going to stop it, and most teams can't. But then every now and then Jimmy G has to make a throw, and you're like, uh-oh.
Well, the thing about Kirk Cousins is he can make the throws.
Right.
He can make a tough throw. He won't make a game-changing throw where he has to go put his nuts on the line and throw in between three guys and make a play that isn't there. That's not what Kirk Cousins does.
Oh, what about the Minnesota Miracle?
Oh, yeah, the Minnesota Miracle.
That was Case Keenum.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because
good
that
point.
popped in my head, and I was like, wait, he did make the – oh, no, that was Case Keenum, because Case Keenum is a guy who's willing to try to make that
He'll
throw.
make those weird throws. And,
Right.
well, Kirk Cousins also had that good game with – I think Kyle Rudolph had that
he won a playoff game in the Superdome.
yeah.
Which
yeah.
that counts.
Absolutely.
That absolutely counts.
But Kirk Cousins, he'll make a pretty difficult throw if it's there. Jimmy Garoppolo very frequently will try to make like a medium difficult throw and just airmail it by like 7 yards.
Yes. And again, I think people get a little confused when we talk about Kirk Cousins. Actually, most people I think understand it. They're just weird like Kirk Cousins stands out there. If you had Kirk Cousins at a discount, it would be actually a good idea. Like if you could build everything, Kirk Cousins, if everything's good around him, he can win playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirk Cousins at his current price, you're not gonna it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean Kirk Cousins winning a playoff game in the Superdome on the Vikings
Was
mind you
huge
on the Vikings.
On the Vikings.
And then Kirk Cousins also taking the football team, the Redskins, to the playoffs back when they had Jay Gruden as their head coach. Like those are two very difficult things to accomplish.
Yeah.
So Kirk's not a bad quarterback, but he's just good enough that he'll drive you insane.
Yes. The Niners though, they are the team I would say right now in the NFC. Like if you're discounting the top three teams, the Cowboys, the Bucs. I'm not. We'll get to the Rams in a second. I'm not putting them there anymore. The Packers. I think the Niners in like that next grouping is the team you don't want to play. Because they found something.
You know who the Niners are for me right now? I would classify them as a team that you don't want to play. They're my don't look now team.
Yeah.
Don't look now, but the 49ers are starting to play real football.
Deebo Samuel, and they here's a fun stat. They had the ball. This is for all you stat nerds out there, you analytics guys, because this is going to hurt them. The 49ers had the ball for 37 minutes. Teams that have had the ball for 37 minutes, not counting overtime, so 37 minutes or more this season in the NFL, 22-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess that doesn't really mean a lot then.
No, it means a lot. It means everything. Just hold the ball for 37 minutes and you'll guarantee to win.
The other guy can't score and you've got the ball.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Army's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Army would be undefeated in the NFL.
Just zig when they zag.
Yes.
Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Robbie Gould made a field goal off the upright today.
Yeah, he did.
That was kind of cool.
It was
Which
cool.
Bears kickers could do that.
It was very cool. But yeah, the 49ers. And the Vikings are still in the playoffs, which is crazy because the 7th seed is just screws everything up. All right, let's get to our last game. Before we do that, PFT, you have one last ad. And then we will get to Football Guy of the Week and wrap it up with Who's Back of the Week.
Yeah, guess what, guys? The holidays came early because Manscaped, the leading men's hygiene brand, has launched new products, all new ultra-premium body wash and a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. It's time to give yourself the gift of beautiful skin, hair, and balls this holiday season. I guarantee your hygiene routine will never be the same. Go to manscaped.com/take for 20% off. Manscaped, if you're listening, do a deal with Frank Gore right now. It's no brainer. 20% off, free shipping. Make sure you're feeling and smelling prepared for a little action under the mistletoe this year. We love our good friends over at Manscaped. Best part is the lawnmower, the trimmer. It's waterproof. You can take it in the shower. Take it in the bathroom with you. Makes cleanup super, super easy. If you have dry, ashy skin, well, you're in luck. Manscaped's new products include the Ultra Premium Body Wash, 16-ounce aluminum bottle with a pump top. It's infused with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean, fresh, most of all moisturized. It's about that time of year. Your skin's going to start getting dry. It's going to start getting itchy maybe. You need to make sure that it's hydrated. Best way to do that is with Manscaped's new premium body wash. The stuff that you get at a store sometimes, or if you're using bar soap, it's not going to cut it. Not this time of year. Get the stuff from Manscaped. Their new premium body wash is outstanding. If you're going to be using body wash, you have to make sure it's good for your skin. I guarantee this one is because they use a clean, vegan, dye-free formula scented with their authentic, refined cologne. Add their new 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner to your Manscaped arsenal as well. The 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner has key ingredients with benefits. They've got sea kelp extract in there. They've got coconut water, saw palmetto, which helps promote hair strengthening and regenerating. take care of your hair, fellas. Take care of it, and their flagship Lawnmower 4.0. The electric trimmer has proprietary advanced skin-safe technology. The trimmer reduces cuts on your nuts. It's also waterproof, like I mentioned. You can use it in the shower. Untrimmed pubes are the thing of the past. So get Manscaped today. Go get 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com/take. 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com/take.
All right, last game, Packers-Rams. Rams stink.
Boo, they're bad.
They're not good.
They're bad. Well, Stafford's hurt. I think we predicted that last week.
Yes.
On Part of My Take. I think after the Sunday Rams game, we said it feels like somebody's going to leak something saying that Matthew Stafford has been playing injured. Well, yes, it came out today that he's got the report was a back. His back is sore. So that's number one. Okay, he's got a sore back.
Hank, blown out back.
Blown out back for Stafford. And then his arm hurts too. But there was no specific mention of actually having some sort of structural damage. It was just like his back kind of sucks now, and then his arm feels weird.
Yeah.
If this was Jared that was doing this in these games, he'd be getting cooked. Cooked.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
Good
It's
point.
not fair.
It's not
It's
right.
not fair.
I don't
it's
hear
not right.
Jared's not making excuses.
Nope.
No.
Nope. And everyone likes to throw out that little stat about how Jared Goff hasn't won a game without Sean McVay. How about this little stat? And I'm a guy who says that Matt Stafford is going to end up being a Hall of Famer because his numbers are going to be insane, and he's played his entire career without any major injuries. Matt Stafford is 8-67 against teams that finish the season above 500.
He also played on the Lions for a while.
He did play for the Lions for a while.
It's always important to note because I saw a similar stat that said he'd never won a game against a team that was 5 games above 500 in his entire career, which is true, but also he was on the Lions.
He was on the Lions, but the Lions did go to the playoffs, I think, twice with him. He's 8-67 all time when playing against a team that finished above 500, and now he's on the Rams. So, okay, you're right. That's a good counterpoint, Lions. If you're just going to assume their wins and losses this year, so they beat the Bucs and the Colts. I'm going to assume the Bucs and the Colts are going to be above 500. They've lost to the Cardinals, the Titans, the Niners, and Packers, who are all going to be above 500. So that's 2-4 now against teams that are going to be above 500. That brings it to 10-71 in his career against teams that finish above 500.
So what we're saying is the Rams need to free Odell.
They need to free
Odell
Odell
Beckham
again.
can't be playing with a quarterback like that can't get it done.
He should have just stayed in Green Bay.
He needs to be a winner. Yeah, this was like a weird Odell Beckham revenge game, kind of. Playing against the Packers, who didn't want to pay Odell Beckham like $50 million guaranteed to play for him.
Yep.
So he did get his first touchdown for the Rams.
It was a nice touchdown.
And it was also after he changed his cleats when he went out there in the first half wearing his Browns cleats. And Odell, he leads the league, I'm certain of it, in falling down on passes right before they're thrown towards him.
Correct.
He just does it all the time. But he did change his cleats. I think at halftime he switched out of the Browns cleats. I don't know what the rules on that are, if you're allowed to wear those cleats because they've been grandfathered in because you wore them earlier this year.
Yep.
But Roger Goodell probably had a stroke. He's like, wait, that's not one of the official
That's
colors
not
of the
fair.
St. Louis Rams.
Yes.
So he changed him at halftime, went out and caught that bomb in the second half, which was it's kind of cool to see Odell just in a different uniform making cool catches.
Yep.
I think he should play for a different team every week. He should be allowed to just rotate around.
I'm in for
and
that.
play for whatever team he feels like suits his mood at that moment.
I'm in for that. All of that.
But yeah, the Rams are. I'm thinking about using the F word.
Oh, they are. They're frauds.
Frauds?
No, yeah, because they don't. When they play, they won the Week 3 Super Bowl against the Bucs, and then every team that they've played that's good since then, they've lost. Like, that's just a fact. You look at it, and it's a fact. They have not played against a good team. Their last 4 games against teams that are probably going to the playoffs or at least finishing above 500, they have lost to. And they've looked really bad in a few of those. Like, really bad. They looked really bad in that Titans game. I also, like, Sean McVay, it's not all on Stafford. Sean McVay, genius. Boy genius. Very, very good coach.
It's getting kind of weird to call Sean McVay still a boy genius.
He's 35.
Does that stick around?
Yeah, no, he's boy genius.
He's still boy
Yeah,
genius.
he's boy,
Okay.
boy genius. Sean McVay, boy genius, can remember every play that he's ever called. Do you think he'll remember that he ran the ball 3rd and 1 with 50 seconds left and no timeouts down 2 scores?
That was weird.
Do you think he'll remember that one?
He's thinking about it. That's all he's thinking about right now is just replaying that in his head over and over again.
Because that hurts when you're boy genius and like that. We're not better than coaches. We're not going to say that we're better than coaches. We can pretend we are, but there's many times where it's like, oh, they should do this, and they do the opposite, and then it's right. That's a situation where everyone in America was better than Sean McVay.
I think I'm better than David Culley.
I don't know, man. He's got some culture going.
I think I'm better
Could
than
you have beaten the Texans or the Titans?
Could I have beaten the
Mike Vrabel would have intimidated me too much.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably. So you're right. David Culley's slightly better than me at
Slightly
coaching.
better, yeah.
But in this instance, I think everybody knew that what they were doing was dumb.
It was crazy.
Maybe there was a miscommunication. Maybe Matt Stafford's back was having an ouch moment.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't pass. I got to hand it off.
He was in traction.
But they had to, they kicked out. That almost counts as a sad field goal.
Yeah.
And it's not the traditional sad field goal of you're losing 35-3 and you kick it so you lose 35-6, but you gave up in that instance. That was like you literally waving a white flag at that point. Being
It was
like,
crazy.
Yeah, we're
It
not
was
going to win this
crazy.
game.
The other thing was Sean McVay. And listen, we could talk about the Packers. The Packers are fucking good. I think the Packers are probably, and it hurts me to say this very, very much, but they are the only team in the NFC. Well, maybe the Cardinals. The Packers and the Cardinals are the two teams in the NFC that I would say I really trust right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mason Crosby looks like he's got it all figured out now.
Yeah. I mean, Mason Crosby hitting like a 50-yarder, if you could bet on the sports book that he'll then miss a kick later on in the game, it's like almost a guaranteed thing.
Even when he makes kicks, he's relieved that it went in. He's like, fuck, I almost missed that one.
Yeah.
He's not a good mental headspace right now. And I think I heard one of the announcers say today that he actually doesn't trust the unit that's around him.
Oh.
He doesn't like the snapper. I think we were putting most of the blame on Bajorquez.
Yeah.
Bajorquez. We'll never learn how to say that name correctly.
Juszczyk?
Juszczyk.
Also, crossbar messed up the scoregami. If he made it,
Oh,
that son of a bitch.
Possession after
No,
the
Jake,
kickoff.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
It's all right.
That's tough.
There's bigger things in life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like your
Wow.
bracketology, that's terrible.
It's not terrible. That's not
Wisconsin
how it
won
works.
the Maui. All right, we'll
get
get
to
to that later. Yeah.
Randall
We'll get to it
Cobb
later.
he's always been a very confusing player to me because he seems to be incredibly fast when he's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and then he just can't run once he gets open downfield. He got open a couple times downfield today, and Aaron Rodgers threw the ball to him.
Yeah.
And he's looking like he did 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was that was actually like a key to the pack. Like Jalen Ramsey was on Devontae Adams, did a pretty good job when he was on Devontae Adams, but then it's like, oh yeah, we still have Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb, I was thinking about this, and this is when the show goes off the rails. His name's Randall. That's weird.
Yeah, Randall.
That's very weird.
He could be Randy.
Yeah,
Randy Cobb.
and he's Randall.
Randall. Yeah.
It's just like we just accepted that.
Randy. Randall.
Randy would be cool. Randy Cobb.
If your name is Randy, are you always a Randall?
I think so.
I bet
Unless you were born a Randy.
I think some people are born Randy.
Yeah, because Randall's weird.
I think you come out of that vagina in a Camaro, you're like, yeah, this baby's Randy.
Yeah, Randy. It's Randy here. All right, so my last point about Sean McVay, what I was going to say. Sean McVay, first 4 years, he was first in play action. This year, he's 23rd in play action. Is it maybe Sean McVay has fallen too much in love with Matthew Stafford, and that's how it's all falling apart?
That's what it looks like to me.
Like,
From where
that's-
I stand, either that or Matthew Stafford is too much of a diva to want to run play action like Big Ben has become towards the end of
Yes.
his career. Jared Goff was a team guy. Jared Goff was like, whatever it takes. I don't care if, I'd be happy to win the Super Bowl 13-10 if we could.
Yes.
And that's what he asked his team to do. And, they came up just a little bit short of that goal.
That's a good point.
But Jared Goff doesn't care about his personal stats at the end of the day. It seems to me like Matt Stafford might be thinking about that.
And Coward's going to do some kind of analogy tomorrow where it's like, you're on your fourth wife and you're 69 and in your doggy style, and sometimes it's good to have missionary.
Yep.
Like sometimes it's just good to just fuck laying down on top of your wife.
Sometimes you don't want to get up. Sometimes you just want to be on bottom.
Yeah.
And you want to let her ride you.
Yeah.
And that's what Jared Goff was good at.
Now they're 69ing.
Matt Stafford, it's every night's your anniversary when you're
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, and she's like, "Honey, I just like to give you head," and he's like, "How about I pile drive you?"
Yeah, right. Exactly. This is all we read all offseason was, oh, can you believe what McVay's going to do with Matt Stafford now in his offense? Maybe just run your old offense because it worked pretty well.
Yep.
I don't know. All right.
I hope McVay listens to this part of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. What's
I
up?
think he probably will.
Your beard's looking pretty good.
It actually does. Credit where it's due.
Yeah.
His beard looks better now.
Yeah, because he spends so much time on it.
Probably.
All right. Football guy of the week. Let's do it. Football guy of the week.
We got a great crop of guys this week, but
Yeah?
first,
I
congratulations.
like how he refers to the football guys like they're a bunch of soybeans that he's been farming out in the field.
recruits.
Great crop.
Great crop.
Yeah.
No,
We've been tending to them.
congratulations to Week 11's winner, Jamal Adams.
Billy's
Jamal
like a
Williams.
high schooler who's deciding to grow weed in his closet. He's like, got little football guys in
The
there.
hydroponics are starting to kick in.
Yeah, mom and dad are like, why is the electric bill going so crazy? Well, I got some football guys I'm working on.
Congratulations to Jamal Williams for dressing up to announce that he is back from injury. And now for our Week 12 nominees. Number 1, we talked about him before, Vita Vea, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, nose tackle, lost a tooth. Even more almost football guyish was his head coach commenting on how he has 30 other ones.
Yep.
So great story out of there.
Jake, can you look up how to pronounce his full name again?
Yeah.
This is Jake Super Bowl.
Number 2, Luke Fickell, head coach of the University of Cincinnati, who after beating Eastern Carolina University started doing pull-ups on the rafters to celebrate with his team, something that he also did back in 2019. And that's just, the photo gives it way more merit to what I'm saying, but the guy's just repping out pull-ups for his whole team.
Kind of
while
like
they're
you had
cheering
to be
on.
there moment. I
Yeah.
like it.
Number 3 is Daniel Carlson, the kicker for the Raiders, who on Monday had food poisoning and said that told his coaches that he would wear adult diapers if need be to play through the food poisoning.
Wow. Love that.
So, you know,
love
Janikowski
that.
used to do that all the time.
Yep.
and in that game on Thursday, he went 5 for 5 on field goals with a huge game winner in overtime. So we don't know if he was wearing diapers during that game, but it didn't affect his performance.
Okay.
All right.
And now, number 4, Dameon Pierce, running back for the University of Florida. Now, if you guys saw this, my words won't do this justice. His helmet popped off in the middle of a play, got ripped off, and he ended up trucking 3 dudes into the end zone with his helmet off. He ended up getting called for playing with your helmet off, which I think is a football guy move. I think they need to change the rules, figure out some way to not incentivize players to play without their helmets, but, you know, it's pretty sick when a guy's just helmet off.
It should be a look the other
Yes.
way. You can't be
Yes.
like 10-yard penalty for looking too cool.
Yes.
What happens is he gets a penalty for playing without a helmet, and then the defense gets a penalty for keeping to play while the opponent doesn't have a helmet, so it cancels out, but still got like reward that
What are you
touchdown.
supposed to do at that point if you have the ball, your helmet gets knocked off? Do you just like stop and take a knee? Do you just yell timeout like you're playing football in the backyard? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do? You're in kind of a weird scenario there. You should never penalize a player for playing football. That's what I
College
say.
football, yeah.
Dameon Pierce commented on his helmetless run, "My mom had been calling me hard-headed since I was little." And that was
Love it.
his comments on the situation. Now for our bonus old school football guy of the week. This was not from a long time ago, but an old school football guy
Okay.
notwithstanding. There was an obituary for a 76-year-old Pittsburgh area man who said that he passed away after a long bout with the Steelers.
Yeah, so didn't we say that on Wednesday
No,
that
no,
we're
no.
over that? The Nebraska fan were liked because he was like bet an irresponsible amount.
The guy that says that I wanted them to let me down one last time.
Yeah.
I didn't put that in last week's because the irresponsible amount, we're responsible around here.
Yeah, no, I know.
But still,
I
think
did bet an
This guy
irresponsible
actually-
amount responsibly.
this
yeah,
guy-
but we did like specifically say we're over this.
I know, but he died during overtime.
Okay, that counts.
Okay,
Against the
that's
Lions.
why. Against the Lions.
Okay.
He died in
All right, that
overtime
counts.
against the
yeah,
Lions.
okay, I like that. Yeah.
And so that was the only reason.
Yeah.
He's
Because
literally,
otherwise,
that
it's like
he was watching
buried
the
the lead
game.
on that
yeah,
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but he died watching
Yeah.
the game.
he died from a tie.
yeah.
Yes. Also, we had a football guy. There was a tweet that I saw. Jim Harbaugh got a text from John Madden after yesterday's game, and John Madden said to him, "That's as good as an offensive line performance as he's seen." That has to be like football guy heaven right there.
Yeah, that's when you would die.
Yeah.
Right there. Not in the overtime period of a Steelers Lions game, but when John Madden tells you that your offensive line was forged in his image,
Yes.
it's like, okay, I've done
Incredible.
it. I've done it all.
Incredible. All right, good job, Billy.
Perfect.
Yeah. Vote for it.
Tevita Tuli Akiono Tuli Pelotu Mosis Vahe Falatau Vea.
Let's fucking go, Jay.
Okay. Way to go, Jake. All right, let's finish up. We got Who's Back of the Week. Who's Back of the Week brought to you by our friends at the Cash App. Major announcement from Cash App. They're now introducing teen banking to the masses. If you're 13 plus, you need to download the Cash App now. You can send and transfer cash to your friends, little brother, little sister, little cousin. If you have a child and you're listening to this, sign them up for the Cash App. And just a heads up and a reminder to the teens, you won't be able to buy or sell stocks or Bitcoins, but you can use it like a debit card, learn about how to proper money management, all the good things with the Cash App. Download the Cash App, enter the referral code Barstool. You'll get $10, and they will now send $10 to ASPCA when you download the Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today. Hank, Who's Back of the Week? Can you plug in my computer? Thank you.
I have a bunch if that's all right.
Oh, please, go off, King.
Where would you like me to start?
At the top.
Yeah, at the top. At the middle. In the middle. Do it in the middle. How many do you have?
I have 3.
Okay, so do 2. Do the second one first.
I can't do all 3?
No, you do all 3, but do the second one first.
All right, Brooks Koepka.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Koepka.
Mm-hmm.
Won the match, beat the shit.
Oh, he wasn't first?
No, he's in the middle.
Okay.
I have 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, he's probably 3rd.
Oh.
But he's kind of related to the other one.
Okay.
He won the match.
You motherfucker.
He won the match.
You motherfucker.
Beat
That
the
game didn't count. No one watched
Beat the
it.
shit. That's
Friday
true.
night at
Including-
fucking 11 o'clock.
I watched it.
That game
me
did not
included.
One of the
count.
busiest bar
that
nights of the
game-
year. I watched
That
it.
game did not count.
I was
watched
absolutely
almost all
mangled.
of it.
Woke up the next morning. and
You were
was
on the
like,
West Coast. That
fuck
doesn't
yeah.
count.
That's true. I was on
Yeah.
the West Coast, and I was in Seattle, so
Yeah.
everyone was watching Gonzaga out
Yeah.
there.
They're basically the MLB with just scheduling like
The dumbest things
their
ever.
best games at 10:30 on a Friday night after Thanksgiving. Insane.
Like, schedule Gonzaga Duke Monday at 6 o'clock in front of Monday Night Football. Everyone would watch.
I love this Duke team. They're so fucking
Same.
good.
Oh, God.
No, they're really
I know
good.
what you're doing. I'm happy what PFD's doing. I hate you, Hank.
Yeah, I mean, Big K, you've watched them though, right?
You know, they're incredible.
Like they're
incredible.
basically the Fab Five.
They're incredible. If they don't win it all, it's a huge disappointment.
No, I actually think
I'm
that
gonna put a
this,
future on them.
it might be just strictly from a
should.
talent
I did.
perspective. And obviously it's a long season, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. But talent-wise, not talking about, coaching and things like that. Talent-wise, they might be the best NCAA basketball team that I've seen in the last 30 years.
Although Banchero, clear alcohol addiction, he just gets cramps all the time, and he also gets caught in the car with Coach K's grandson.
Mhm.
What are you laughing about, Jake?
Clear alcohol.
I mean,
Well,
all right. So let's just get the facts.
Listen, Big Head,
he
you don't want your star
he
player
got caught in a
partying?
car,
Couldn't be me.
abetting a DUI, and then he gets cramps every other game because he can't have vodka.
Well, it was his car that he gave the keys to Coach K's grandson.
Yeah.
I have to wonder if he was actually the one driving, and Coach K's grandson is almost like a reverse DD for a lot of the players on the team, where it's like, if you're going to be drinking and driving, have Coach K's grandson sitting shotgun, because he'll switch seats with you real quick.
Yes.
And he's the designated drunk driver.
Right.
That will take all the fall for it.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if that's the case. I have no information to tell me that it is, but
We'll
it
do
seems,
a fact-finding mission.
it seems highly likely.
We're
Listen,
gonna say, Billy. You
me-
think that's
me and-
the case? You can't do a motion and then not speak.
I may have a scoop.
Oh, you have a scoop?
I think
Lay it
Billy
on
probably
us.
got a
This is a
DM
reply,
from the
guys.
same person. I got a DM.
Alert. There's a reply guy scoop. Anything that Billy says right now cannot legally be held accountable for us, but we do take it as fact, especially if it's anti-Duke.
So I saw in the replies to a reply,
Uh-huh.
what is the grandson doing in the car? And that was one of the replies, that he's actually a fall guy.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect,
I think
perfect.
exactly. I think it's a fall.
All right.
I always know
take that as fact.
when Billy's about to drop some hot sourcing on us. If it's a DM that I saw like 4 days ago and ignored, Billy's like, he's all over that fact.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep up the good work, Billy. You bring the internet to me.
I look at the bad stuff.
Yeah, I know you. So I don't have
you
to.
guys
Yes,
don't have
no,
to.
I agree. I've said it. You get in the gutters.
You know what Billy does? He does the Bird Box meme where he's the guy opening our eyes
Yeah.
to the ugly truth out
No,
there.
it's fucking great. Billy serves a purpose of he's gonna go and get in he's gonna get in the corners and throw some elbows and come out with some wild fucking ideas that some
scoops.
guy with 0 followers and no avatar tweeted.
You don't want to know what I've seen.
All right.
Did you guys-
Hey, Hank, what's your
Sorry, did you guys see this ESPN graphic of the game? They just did Banchero dirty with his nose.
Well, no, he's got an alcohol addiction. So
No, and then
It should be redder.
couldn't.
yeah.
They actually did him a favor.
He couldn't believe it. But
He couldn't believe
They
it.
just took the ugliest picture.
What
of
time
him
did he
and made
tweet
it.
that?
before the game.
Oh, okay.
On game day.
Paolo Banchero, perverted or Italian? We don't know what he was doing in that car.
I just hope he gets help for his issues. But knowing Coach K, he will make sure that he doesn't get help. And
Probably
he'll just
encourage.
keep riding him.
Probably
right.
enable him.
Right.
Me and my fellow Duke alums get a lot of heat for not being like fun party people, and we finally have a party guy, and you put him down. It's like he can't win with you.
No, I'm fine
do
with
you
partying,
not
just
want if
not
you're
in
in
cars.
theory to remove the school aspect of it, 5-star recruit, best player in the country. You don't want him to have a little fun. You want him to be a squid.
No, he should be at school to do school.
Right.
Right.
I think if
right.
he had
He's underage.
Yeah.
if he had a
Exactly.
strong leadership
Illegal.
presence in his life, he would know better than to go out and do that sort of thing. I don't blame
But
him whatsoever.
is it underage if your home country it's legal?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That would be like.
a lot of questions could arise from
can
that.
Can you do heroin in America because in Holland you can?
You actually can't do heroin in Holland.
What
I
else can
checked.
you do? Drug guy.
You can eat a space cake.
Okay.
Spain, it's decriminalized.
There we
All
go.
drugs.
Portugal.
I have an idea.
Okay.
So
What if you sent me and Hank down to Duke to investigate? Like we
Our I team.
go to Shooters, all those little bars there, and just make sure nothing bad's
I
happening.
like it.
yeah.
Investigate, yeah.
Yeah,
just
our
sweet.
DUI team.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been down to Chapel Hill, which is the more fun part of Duke.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Billy, I don't want you to go to Duke because Billy, you're gonna go to Duke and be like, this school is sick when you don't have any actual basis. Like Hank said, Chapel Hill is fucking awesome. If
we
you
gotta-
party
we
in
gotta
Chapel Hill, it's a
investigate.
great time.
We got to make sure.
Right, but you're gonna come back and be like, dude, they have bars. It was awesome there.
I didn't have any bars. In my
I know, that's what I'm saying. And then you're gonna be distorted, and you're gonna be like, Duke is a sick school.
I might become a Duke fan.
Anyway, so
We got sidetracked.
Coach K and Blake were together after the Duke game.
Broke my heart.
Brooks was just showing Coach K a lot of love.
Broke
Coach
my
K
heart.
was showing Brooks a lot of love. Made my heart grow like 5 inches or whatever that day,
Broke my
however
heart.
they say it.
Your heart
And then
kind of
my
boner. Yeah.
third who's back, which is really my first who's back, top of the list is you guys as musicians.
Oh,
Part of my take, our song with Benny the Butcher at the Bank is coming out today, Monday. If you're listening to this after Monday, it's on our YouTube channel. We're doing a live stream telethon for the Cyber Monday entire Barstool Sports thing, which we'll all be on, and it's going to premiere at the end of that telethon.
I'll say this: Drink Paint and Chonk were child's play.
Yeah, this
compared
is
to this
awesome.
song. I think this is the best song that we've ever done. Go ahead.
Best song and best music video, Benny the Butcher is like
yeah,
a real
it's sick.
crazy talented music artist blown up.
We'll have him on the show at some
And it's
point.
the best music video.
Yes. It was awesome. Awesome. So check it out. PFT, your who's back? Great who's back, Hank.
Yeah, very good.
Thanks.
My first who's back of the week. I have 3. Is that all right?
Yep.
First one is
Do one.
okay. First one's eggnog.
It's who's back.
Okay, eggnog is back. It's nog season, bitch.
Do you keep it cold inside or outside?
I do both.
Nice.
I swing all ways when it comes. I can drink it hot. I can drink it cold on ice. I'll drink it with a straw. I'll drink it off a table if it spills. I love eggnog. Eggnog is a great drink, and anyone that says it's not just has the palate of a 6-year-old.
Okay.
That's a fact. Hank, do you like eggnog?
Nope.
There we go.
I don't either.
There we go. There we go.
It's it's the same
You
thing.
knew
I throw
that.
it in the same thing as Bloody Mary, like 1 or 2 a year maybe, but nah.
but those one or
Ugh.
two a year are fantastic.
Yeah, it's like eggnog,
Is
Bloody
eggnog a
Marys.
soup?
It's Christmas soup. I
Candy
was about
corn.
to say yes. It's booze soup.
Those are the things that you can have like in sparingly. You can't. If I handed you eggnog at any other time of the year besides like Christmas season,
I would
you'd
drink
be
it.
like, yeah, okay, but it's
Normal
gross.
people would
Yeah,
not. Yeah, but I would. I love eggnog. I love that it's back on shelves. I would drink it in the summertime if it was still around. I just would. I mean, it tastes like a White Russian over ice. Love a good nog. Also, who's back is the ESPN playoff machine. I've just been using it all afternoon today. It's officially back. And if the football team wins tonight, Monday Night Football, they're in the 7th seed right now.
There you go.
They're in the playoffs. So
Huge.
I'm addicted to the ESPN playoff machine.
Huge. All right, my who's back. We said we were going to talk a little college football. We'll save it for Wednesday because we're running long. But Michigan is back. That was an incredible performance, beating Ohio State. They bullied the fuck out of them. Bullied the fuck out of them. We're happy for Jim Harbaugh. We're going to have him back on the show. I have to share, though. So I texted him after. I didn't expect him to respond. I was just like, congratulations. That was awesome. And in very Coach Harbaugh fashion, he said, thanks, pal. Great to get a text from you. Channeling Bo and Woody felt like being in the 70s watching as a kid. And then he wrote, this is my favorite part. We have us a ball team. Nothing like being on a true ball team.
I love that.
It's like
Billy, add him to the football guy of the week.
yeah,
nomination
like
list.
it's not like the win. It's like
Ball team.
we're like the guys in this locker room. You could just feel that text. You're like, oh my god, I would like want to be a part of that. Like he's just being like, we got a fucking ball team.
I bet you Harbaugh didn't even sleep after this one.
No.
I bet you he went directly to his whiteboard and just, you know how he has all those motivational quotes that he takes from everybody? I bet you he was like Bart Simpson and just like full on train of thought, writing down every thought that he had and filled up that whiteboard with like 36 quotes of his own from just how he was feeling about his ball club after that game.
And credit to him, he took a major discount on his salary, which you could say, well, he didn't have any other options. That's fair. But he overhauled his staff. He had to do it, but he's evolved, and he beat Ohio State. And it was like the way they beat them was very Harbaugh. They just fucking bodied them for 60 minutes and made them look soft. And I was just very happy for him. I don't like Michigan. I like Harbaugh. It was awesome for Harbaugh. And it was, I'll say this, Michigan fans, like, that's got to be, that is, what Michigan did on Saturday gives any team that is always getting beat down by their rival hope. Because if you watch that scene in Ann Arbor, it was so perfect with the snow and everyone going crazy. And it's like, if you are on the wrong side of a rivalry, you watch that and you say, it's bad. It's as bad as it ever gets. Feels like we're never going to get out of it. But when that moment comes, it's something very, very special. And you saw it on Saturday. I love college football. On Saturday with all the games was fucking awesome. The Iron Bowl. We'll talk about it on Wednesday. Iron Bowl was awesome. Bedlam was awesome. There's just nothing like college football.
I can always root for a team that wins games by just running around shoving their opponents.
Yeah.
That's what Michigan does. They're just going to have their big guys just like push you. Just standing upright, just shoving you like bullies.
It was awesome.
And they're going to be able to win. They're going to be able to run the ball here. I'd say like the 49ers are kind of that type of team in the NFL where you're just going to get shoved for like 60 minutes and you're going to take it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yep. And then, yeah, Minnesota did beat Wisconsin, but whatever. You have to root for Kirk Cousins, whatever. That sucked a lot. Whatever. It's fine. We'll talk college football on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. It's fine. Billy. Who's back of the week?
My who's back of the week is the future.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You just put my brain in a pretzel.
Yeah, and by the future, I mean the metaverse, the Matrix, and NFTs. The Pardon My Take 2016 collection NFTs are going on auction starting Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Quick question, Billy. What is an NFT?
Is a non-fungible token.
Now, is this the same one as the one that you did as an experiment for your own money?
No, that was an experiment that I was using for this to be the real thing.
And how much money did you make off that one?
It was in ETH, which is a coin.
Which is?
A cryptocurrency.
How much is it?
It's about a certain decimal amount.
How much money did you make?
Well, you ruined the experiment by mentioning it on the show.
No, but how much money did you make?
Too much. It was actually a little scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much was going to happen?
So how much money did you make?
It was kind of ridiculous.
How many Jose Canseco fights?
Oh, it was about a tenth.
Tell me how much money you made.
Okay. Too much.
How much?
On which one?
Both. All of them.
All of them. After fees, $2,400.
Oh, I thought it was going to be 24,000 for a second.
Okay.
Wait, also, you could just be completely lying to us, right? You're definitely lying.
He's definitely
lying. It was probably $7,000.
I'll vouch for Billy. He did show me last week.
Okay.
It was kind of scary. I didn't think that would happen.
This is the beginning. Yeah, this is your villain origin story.
This is not my villain origin story. I'm not taking. There's people out there who want, Pardon My Take NFTs.
Yeah,
they really do. They want collector's
I want them
items.
to have them.
Yeah, but they're only selling 4, so only 4 people are going to own these, or one person who buys all 4.
Right.
So there's 4. It's going to be the first Larry's pick.
Okay.
In NFT format, the first Piss Dogs.
Okay.
With Mark Schlereth, the Milk Mile.
Okay.
And the Boca Raton Bowl.
Okay.
So some collector of NFTs who finds value in them and is willing to pay for them will be.
And where's the money go?
The money goes to the company.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Got it.
Nice. Gotcha.
Help.
Well,
You're trying to make yourself essential.
I'm not getting anything. I'm
You're
just
not
trying
gonna
to
wet
show
your
that
beak?
I
Alright,
can do
okay.
projects.
Okay,
You should
nice.
wet the
You
beak a
show
little
them
bit.
that you can do projects. I like this. All right. I will vouch for you that you did this project.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Until it gets stolen, then I'm be like, that was Billy's fault.
Who's gonna steal it?
I don't know. Right click those people.
If they right click it, yeah. That's the one thing I haven't figured out.
Okay. So yeah. So that. All right. So I'm not ready to vouch for you on the project yet. We'll get there though. We
Okay.
will get there.
But the people get it.
yes, the people.
Anyway, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, auction starts, and then next Tuesday it ends at 2 p.m.
Okay,
Love it.
We're not making any money off this.
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
The company.
I feel like the
Pointed
NCAA.
upstairs there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, yeah.
All right. Jake, finish us off.
Who's back is Wisconsin basketball.
There it is.
They won the Maui Invitational. They beat Texas A&M, had a big win against Houston, held off St. Mary's in the championship. They not only went to bracketology, they replaced Syracuse in bracketology.
Oh.
So Syracuse had a bad
So
weekend.
look how we come around.
Yeah,
here.
but
What?
to me that seems like you're trying
No,
to
no,
make
no.
up for your earlier
your mistakes.
missteps.
No, yeah.
By
Okay.
taking his own team
yeah.
out.
Well, first of all,
You guys lost to Colgate.
they are not a tournament team right now. They lost 2 out of 3 in Maui in Atlantis, and they lost to Colgate. And it's not. It's more of a reactionary thing. The only thing where it's a true prediction is the last bracket.
I understand, but
So-
like I said to you, you could have been a
You're right.
trendsetter.
But
Johnny Davis shoved his balls down your throat.
yes, but he didn't because
Yeah, no, he did. He
when I
took
didn't
out his
have them
balls
in the
and he put
tournament,
them in your throat.
they were not a tournament team. Even you agreed.
Try calling the Iona game with Johnny Davis's balls in your throat. Not gonna work.
Rick Pitino beat Alabama.
Why'd you bring up Rick Pitino about balls?
That's what I heard.
Balls and throats, and you go Rick
I'm
Pitino.
teasing the game I'm calling on Friday.
Are you gonna get to interview him before?
We're just talking about seeds, and Jake's like,
I
what do you mean,
requested,
Patino?
I requested a coach's call, waiting to hear back.
Can we be on it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, can we listen?
Of course.
Jake, I'm going to give you some advice.
I don't know if it's happening. I requested it.
I'm doing this
boy.
to prevent future me from making a giant mistake. Don't let us in the same building as you when you're on
No,
that
you know
call.
how there's Michigan Hate Week? Or Ohio State Hate Week is Rick Pitino Love Week.
Oh, great.
Part of
That's
my take.
was that a short week?
15 seconds.
Yeah, it's
It's a pre-roll.
Did you
ad.
just decide that?
No, it's
should
for them.
actually put
They're going to
it-
be nice to him.
Larger
saying,
Jeff
did you just
Lowe.
did you just
on the
decide
first
that for
15
them?
seconds of the
Yeah.
ad, he's like, hey, it's Rick Pitino Love Week.
Jake,
Tune into Rick Pitino
that's
Love
just
Week.
the most alpha thing Jake's ever done.
Yeah, Rick Pitino Love Week. But
Yeah.
he's the alpha. He's the best in the office.
No, so
Let
yeah.
us be on the call. I
The coach's call. First, I have
Like
to get it approved. I'm
4 or
waiting to hear
5
back from the
questions.
SID.
Yeah, I don't.
at most.
Jake, trust me. Do not let us.
Are you
on
guys
that
trying to get
call.
him on the show?
Sure.
Yeah,
I've always been.
we'd love to have
I
him
don't
on
want
the
to
show.
stalker on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So invite him on the show.
If I have the coach's call, I will introduce myself, say what I do, and I would say the guys would love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
How do you think that would go?
I think it'd
Probably
be
not
great
wrong.
if you don't want to listen to it. There's a 15-second skip button right there on your
I'll
iPhone.
probably be off the call.
We'll see if I even get the call. I don't know.
No, I'm saying you'll be off the call of the game.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want to do that to
You
you.
know,
Jake.
we'll be like, God, this guy's. Not
I don't.
doing
I
it."
don't. I don't want to do that
No,
to
all
you.
right, okay, we won't do it. All right.
Yeah.
Where do you have Duke?
They're a 1 seed. I don't know if it's them, 1 overall, or Purdue.
1 overall for. So it really would be a disappointment if they didn't win the championship.
What? Where do you have them if Banchero has to go to rehab right before the tournament?
Well, the selection committee takes into account when their teams are without the players.
Yeah,
Does the
right.
Jake selection committee take into account ethical and moral missteps that the team might have, or
If
is
players
it
are
like a Peter King
absent, the
situation?
committee takes that into account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenyon Martin rule, right? Did he break his leg right before?
Yeah, and
And they made
Boeheim
him
was
the 1
suspended a few
seed.
years ago.
Yeah.
And
They still made him the
counted that.
1 seed. Maybe
Yeah.
I have that wrong. All right, let's finish the show. Oh, give me my computer back. Thank you, Billy. Great show, everyone.
Zach Wilson has won 2 out of his 3 last games on U.S. soil,
Good for him. Really turning around.
and he's only thrown 1 interception in the last 7 weeks.
What?
Yeah,
But it was the shovel pass off the guy's
yeah,
ass.
which doesn't really count.
But also, he didn't play like 5 out of those 7 weeks? 6?
Yeah, and there was
6
a
out of
and
those?
there was a bye.
That's a good stat.
Great
All right,
stat.
numbers.
18.
3% of
85.
Antarctic glacier
All right,
ice
97.
is penguin urine. 3%
That's pretty cool.
of Antarctic ice.
Piss dogs.
I don't want this to count. It's 97.
Is that?
But
that's
it's
a
not.
winner.
That's
Yeah, but it's not
scoregami? Oh no, it's yours.
first timer, too.
Yeah, it's a first timer and it's not in the. I think you got to go again. I don't think you can have
Nah,
a first
that
timer.
counts.
Here's the thing.
I think it counts.
I
First
haven't,
timer on the computer.
What's the point of doing it?
I
if it's not
haven't
gonna
tracked
count?
which ones have been computers. So if we're
Oh,
not
it's all
counting
the
this, we
same.
can't count
Yeah.
all
All
of
right,
those.
all right, fine. It counts. All right,
you
I
got
got
it.
it.
Just take it.
I finally
I mean,
nailed it.
unless
I've been
anyone
guessing
disagrees.
97 for 6
Is
months.
If
it-
anyone
wait.
disagrees,
That's not your first win.
No.
Mickey
but
Mouse,
I've been-
Mickey Mouse ball.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good about it, but I'll take the victory.
Fraud cat.
I thought you were gonna say.
It's bullshit.
I thought you were. Gonna,
I self-reported.
I
I didn't want it.
I thought you were gonna say it was 69 because I didn't actually say 69.
It was 69.
Yeah,
Damn.
that would have been crazy because I didn't actually say it before.
Love you guys.
69. All right, we gotta do Browns.
How crazy would it be if it would be 69 but I didn't say the number before?
Oh,
Be
69.
Stop. How did you do that? Min max 69.